Hello, Chad. Welcome to this new week of the Roomba of Thought. And last week we had a very long Roomba, considering that we've been out for 2 weeks, and we had to recover 2 weeks worth of time. Actually, kind of 3, considering the extra week that we actually did the Roomba. We did that in the time span of 2 Roombas. So, today we're gonna just try and do similar normal Roomba times, even though it's probably just gonna be shorter. But yeah, no, let's go say hi to the crew. Okay, there's everything. There's a card just spinning out as per usual. Hello, crew. How's it going?
Hello.
Hello.
Just love the EP Mina. Great way to start the Roomba.
Roomba.
So beforehand, we've been doing some technical checks to make sure everything is according to how's it said it I don't know. Yeah, just to make sure.
Spec.
Exactly. Thank you, me, for saving my ass. I just forgot the word.
Gourd.
So we don't have that much this week. Looking at it.
We can also just shoot the shit.
What?
Shoot the shit.
Oh. I have never heard that expression in my life. I'm sorry that I'm just confused.
You've never heard it?
No.
Interesting. Okay, so shooting the shit is basically just talking casually.
Fair.
You know, small talk. Stuff
Small
like that.
talk.
Speaking of small talk, how's been the weather over there for you three?
It's very rainy.
It's
I wish.
just a little bit rainy, but I think it's calm now.
God, I wish it was raining here.
You need some wet in your life. Wait, what?
Huh?
Please never say that again.
Please, or I will turn the box upside down and that side is closed. And you don't want to be shut in the box.
Yeah.
Olds is Dutch. They're your arch enemy is supposed to be the water.
True. Well, that
Oh, you're
The
saying
rivalry
that.
between the Dutch and the sea is on par between the rivalry between the British and the French.
Perfect. Yeah, I'm just gonna. There we go. Lock everyone in place, just in case I accidentally move someone around. I would kind of cringe. Anyway.
Schmoovin'.
Yeah, no. Lately in here it's been mostly sunny, and pretty warm. And when you think it's like winter, it's like, oh great. Yeah, well we kind of need rain.
Yeah, exactly.
Like it's barely been raining in here. And it's kind of a problem.
Humans have this nasty necessity for this thing called water.
H2O.
And then there's
I mean,
this place over here where it just rains aplenty.
If we want to talk about really, oh no, there's no rain though. If you're not aware, the Panama Canal is having problems with drought.
Oh.
Boy.
Ooh.
Oh no.
Because if you're not aware, Panama Canal. Actually, hold on. For anyone who's not me, do any of you actually know how the Panama Canal
is
works?
man-made
Not
canal.
really.
Alright. Alright, here's our first topic then. We've explained the Panama Canal. So, there are two main shipping canals that get talked about a lot. There's the Suez Canal and there's the Panama Canal.
Yes.
And they are completely different. Suez Canal is a bit older. It is basically, they cut a big trench all the way between the Red Sea
And the
and the
Mediterranean.
Mediterranean Sea across the isthmus between the Sinai Peninsula and Egypt. Yeah,
Yep.
they just cut a really big channel across. Now, you can't do that in Panama. There's kind of like a mountain range running down the spine of the American continent. It's not super tall by the time it gets to Panama. It's like, hold on. Checking. Yeah. It's about, yeah, like 30 meters elevation. So not too much, but you know, you have to move a boat that distance, and if you're gonna cut across, cut it all at sea level at that's a lot of work. So what they did instead is they have the system of the canal locks, where basically they've got a big lake at the top, and what they do is they basically use it to, it's really hard to explain without a diagram, but they basically use the water, have it fill the lock to raise the level in the lock to raise the ship up. There's 3 levels of those on each side. So the water basically slowly moves down to move the ships up and then back down. This is not something I can explain properly without drawing it.
Me drawing? Question mark?
You could look up like any.
I'm just expecting suddenly Meep turning on a camera on the phone. Hi Meep. Hi Andy. Just Meep turning a camera on their phone and just drawing it. Just fucking
Hold on.
Meep hand reveal.
Now, post, however, in images, a diagram I found of it off Google.
Ah yes, Google.
Oh, if you put that on stream or something. There's the series of locks between the oceans. There's the big lake at the top, and move a ship up. The uphill lock drains water from it to the downhill one until they're at equal level. Then they open the doors, and the ship moves into the next one, and repeat the process to get to the lake.
I'm still trying to download the image. Hold on a second. Bruh, it's my computer. What do you expect?
Yes, Andy, Google is good for everything.
Indeed.
Google is all-knowing.
Alright, so...
There are only two things on the planet that know more than Google: CIA and the War Thunder forums.
You're going with the War Thunderines again, huh?
And Meep knows about that.
There's a reason that was the free space on the gaming bingo card, and by the way, yes, it has been checked off.
Fantastic.
Just 10 out of 10. We're gonna just cover that up. Cover my ears.
I don't know if it was actually classified.
There you go. Alright,
Docs
you
and I
can see
don't
it.
care,
It's
but
now
some-
covered by
One of them,
the
they
game.
leaked something. Oh.
How's everyone?
doing good.
I'm good. Just vibing. Gotten back to shiny hunting eggs after an incident revolving a certain someone that you also know.
Alright. So pretend my character's pointing at this and doing like that one conspiracy billboard pose.
Yes.
That one meme. Alright. pretend that's the pose my character's doing while explaining this. Alright.
Hold on.
So, at the lake at the top, and that's basically it's an artificial reservoir that they use. So, let's say a ship comes up to the Atlantic Ocean side of that, right on the left.
Yeah.
So, really everything works from the top down, but you enter it from the sides. So, you got the lake at the top.
Mm-hmm.
It moves water into the top set of locks, basically by slowly opening the doors just a little bit.
I assume they got toon locks. Like we're thinking Atlantic to Pacific.
I don't remember all the names of them, and it's kind of irrelevant. Yeah. The point is, they basically shift water from the lake down via the locks in such a way, in order, to basically raise the level of the water in each lock to allow the ships to go up to the lake. I'm pretty sure the way they have it is both sides bring ships into the lake at the first part of the day. Second part of the day, they all come down from the lake. Now the problem is, that lake is refilled by rain. And Panama's had drought between climate change and some other things. So that you've got the problem with that. And now the thing is, the Panama Canal is like, I get the percent, but it's something like 30% of the country's GDP.
Well, that's a problem.
Yeah, and also, by the way, that lake is also the primary drinking water reservoir for Panama's big cities.
Oh. That's
A double whammy.
That's a headache and a half.
Yeah. Yeah. So, the global shipping's not having a good time right now between people not wanting to use the Suez Canal because Houthi rebels, and the Panama Canal being restricted to basically half capacity to conserve water.
Hey, okay.
Let's just...
Question. If I recall correctly, there were a couple years back. I think did we actually cover this in the Roomba? I don't think we did. But there was this boat that got stuck. I think it was in the Suez Canal.
Yeah. Evergiven got stuck in Suez
Yeah,
Canal. It was
Evergiven.
hilarious. Yeah, it was hilarious.
Did we talk about it in this year?
You can put the...
Just in...
I don't think we were doing Roomba by the time when that happened.
I think we did talk about it.
Put the
on
image
stream,
away,
though.
Jimmy.
Oh, okay.
But it was hilarious. It was objectively very funny. Because the Suez Canal is literally just, it's a big trench running from
Point A to
Mediterranean
point B.
to the Red Sea. Yeah. All level.
Mm-hmm.
The first time they tried to build the Panama Canal, they tried to do that, and then they decided that was stupid. And then the Americans came and were like, we're gonna do this. And at that point, I think it was Colombia owned Panama, and they were like, no, leave. And America's like, how about we sponsor our Panamanian independence movement? And then they'll give us the authority to build the canal. And so they did. In response to the Panama Canal having
Oh, America, never change.
issues, there have been some renewed attempts at some of the alternative projects which have been around since literally the Panama Canal started work. Like, there's one project and to make a canal across Nicaragua. And then there's some plans with like some rail corridors across some of the isthmuses, like this one in Mexico, and one in Colombia, I think. Maybe it's Ecuador. I forget which one's immediately south of Panama, right off the top of my head. Hold on. South America map.
Just casually looking up a map of South America.
Colombia, yes.
And Colombia.
There's like a rail across Colombia thing. And I think I also saw someone talk about like a road between Chile and the coast of Brazil via Paraguay.
Huh?
Like a road? Like, okay. Oh no. Oh. But the other thing is like, Another thing that would work very well is like, especially since a lot of the Panama Canal traffic is like U.S. East Coast to Asia and U.S. West Coast to Europe. Like, United States, just build your railroads gooder. So the boats
True.
don't need to go to the other side of the continent. But you know, American railroads.
American railroads.
Just build the infrastructure good government. That's like your one job.
No, but then if they do that, they can't campaign for that.
No one's campaigning for this.
That's stupider. What the fuck?
It is no one. The only thing that gets brought up about trains in U.S. politics is occasionally someone talks about passenger rail. Like, and even then, it's like, you know, even that it's either in the form of, you know, if we did this, maybe Amtrak might be good, and someone else like, Amtrak loses so much money, we should just get rid of it. That's the two kinds of American rail discussion. And then occasionally there's a bit of regulation discussion whenever one of the major railroads has a derailment that deletes a small town in Ohio. Southern.
What? Wait, that has happened?
Yes.
What the fuck?
Yes. Norfolk Southern had a high-profile derailment a year or two ago that basically destroyed a small Ohio town called East Palestine.
Oh.
Foreshadowing.
Foreshadowing is relatively obvious. Wait, no, isn't it? Sometimes foreshadowing can be relatively obvious. I don't know.
No, it's a pure coincidence, but you know.
Hmm.
Idea box.
Idea box.
Let's see.
Boba
Seymour
Fett's-
explains the Ontario pistachio heist.
What is that?
Oh, yes. Give me 1 second.
Yes, please explain.
Oh. Waterloo police aim to crack open a case of missing pistachios. So, thieves have, a couple of criminals, right? Thieves have fucking stolen a truckload of pistachios, which is worth about $70,000.
Well then, I wasn't expecting it to be that quick, but worm.
I'm testing the worm.
This is also not the first time that this has happened.
That someone stole a truckload of pistachios?
Back in November last year, a transport truck was full of walnuts was stolen in Cambridge,
Ah, nuts.
but there's not an estimate for how much that truckload was worth at the moment.
I'm very confused. Why would anyone? I mean, I guess pistachios are kind of expensive.
Pistachios are hella expensive, dude.
I mean,
This is
macadamia nuts are
January
way more expensive.
9:30 p.m. They stole all of those pistachios.
It's wild. Yeah, well, yeah, we know worm works. I mean, don't worry about it. Now you have to wait 15 minutes, probably.
Because if these two incidents are connected, but let's just say I would not be surprised if the Batter Witch was behind this.
The what?
The Batter Witch? Oh, that's right, you're not Homestucks. Betty Crocker.
Who?
Oh. That's a brand.
Yeah, it's a brand. But
Oh.
in Homestuck, she's a whole character, and she's evil, and she's known as the Batter Witch.
Huh?
Okay.
Okay then.
Hold on.
Wacky.
Hold on. What's Homestuck? I've heard of it, but I'm not familiar with what the fuck it is.
Betty Crocker is a brand of instant cake mix.
Okay, hold on. I have
Let
to
them
check
eat
something
cake.
because Mina is kind of quiet. But like, oh god, I have her max.
So let them eat cake.
Cakey.
Anyway, should we stay on the topic of nuts?
I
These
don't know what
nuts.
else to add to that because currently it's still an ongoing investigation. There has been no leeway into who stole all of those pistachios.
I'm just surprised that anyone would do something like that. What
This
the
is so
hell?
strange and everything.
Like-
God.
Yeah, they're expensive, but just randomly steal pistachios? Huh?
Jimmy,
What?
it's the United States. There was once a time someone
Canada.
stole a bridge.
This is Canada.
What?
Oh, it's Canada?
It's Canada. What?
I thought
Okay.
this was the U.S.
Okay,
No,
maybe
no, no. This,
I need to
yeah.
hear that story. Sorry, Mina. I'm sorry.
Alright, yeah. The time someone stole a bridge. Hold on, let me...
Okay,
Well,
so that was
Bridge
in
is simple.
Canada.
Let's see. That one. Alright, so this was, in Akron, Ohio.
Of course it's
Of course,
fucking
Ohio.
Entire-
Of
yeah.
course.
It had an entire bridge stolen. It was a 58-foot-long pedestrian bridge. It is 58 feet 2 meters. 17.6 meter long pedestrian bridge. Was stolen. Now, the bridge had been removed from its mountings, for wetland restoration, and they basically put the bridge on the side of the interstate to await the new mounting points for the bridge to be constructed. When some mad lad cleared all the brush around it and yoinked it.
Oh my god. How do you...
And it was eventually recovered a month later.
I am
Like-
just in awe.
It's,
Why would you steal a bridge? Again, it's America.
I
Why would
don't
you
know.
steal a bridge?
I'm just...
You know, if you're not careful, somebody's gonna sell a bridge to you. This is that motherfucker.
What? Wait, that's a saying?
Sort of. It's basically to be careful of scammers. Because there used to be, in the United States, there used to be scammers that would try to sell off big landmarks from different cities. Like somebody would sell the bridge between New York and Long Island, right?
Mhm.
Another person would like sell the Eiffel Tower because they claim to have the rights to it, right?
Yep.
If you hear somebody say, "Oh yeah, and I have a bridge to sell you," they're basically calling you stupid for selling a scam or for buying into a scam.
Hold on. So, the place I went to pull the stuff for the Akron, Ohio Bridge steal, is at my trivia dump, and I'm scrolling through. I just searched for bridge, and apparently, it's a 2019 story of thieves in Russia stole a rail bridge
That
near
doesn't really
near
surprise
Murmansk.
me.
And the thing is, Jimmy, why do you think they stole the bridge? Because this one we actually know why they did it.
2019, you say?
Yeah, in 2019.
Probably to prepare for some kind of war.
No. They stole it to sell the metal.
Okay, that I was thinking. I overthought it because I was like, it can't be just to steal, just to sell the fucking metal, right? Nope, that was it.
They stole a 56-ton, 23-meter rail bridge near Murmansk.
Oh my god.
I'm just going through some of the other things in here. The time in 1998 when Honduras built a bridge over a river, and then a hurricane rerouted the river, so it was no longer under the bridge.
That's very
Yeah.
funny. Bridges are funny.
Yeah. There are.
If you ever...
Hold on.
Hmm?
Hold on. Here's another hilarious one. This one's one I know I haven't told on the Roomba before. This is from 1977, in the unincorporated community of Vulcan, West Virginia.
Okay.
Alright? So, there was one bridge that was the only legal entrance and exit of this community.
Mm-hmm.
It had collapsed. No one was harmed, but it collapsed. It had been 2 years since this happened. The state of West Virginia refused to replace the bridge. So the acting mayor did the only logical thing. Now,
Which,
I'd like all three of you to take a guess. What was this only logical thing?
rebuild them
Jigs on the
himself.
bridge so that they will be forced to replace it.
So Jimmy said they rebuilt it themselves. Mina, what do you say?
They drew dicks on the bridge, forcing the government to fix it because they don't want dicks on it.
No, that'd be good. Except the bridge had collapsed. The bridge was gone. That's the problem. Oh, what do you think was the only logical thing they did?
Take my money and just to rebuild it again.
Okay, so basically the same
Now-
side said.
So the acting mayor did the only logical thing and asked the Soviet Union.
Oh! I was.
What?
Okay.
And it gets better. The Soviet embassy sent someone out to survey the location and legitimately considered funding the bridge, if for no other reason than to embarrass and piss off the Americans.
As they should.
The Soviet Union didn't do this, because West Virginia suddenly had $1.3 million approved for the project within an hour of the visit.
Oh my god, that's amazing. Yeah, you know what? Yep, that is actually I was not thinking contacting a third party.
Oh, I love that story. It's hilarious.
It's so stupid.
Oh, sure. All right.
History is hilarious if you know where to look.
True.
Yeah, it can be. Jimmy, what's that about Ubisoft becoming a cringe? What's that about?
Oh yeah,
You mean becoming cringe?
becoming
Also, I think the
even
worm's
bigger.
probably worn off, Jimmy.
No, worm is switchable between. You have to redeem it again to switch it back.
Oh.
Like it resets every Roomba. Like I will put 9,000 regular Mina for the next Roomba, but until redeemed again, it's worm and scared Mina.
Okay.
But yeah, so God, this was a long time ago, so I have kind of fuzzy. Like I put this there because I just remembered it, but this was a couple months back, and they were talking about things like monthly passes and such. And one of the Ubisoft people said like, "Oh, players need to get used to owning their games because that's just the future of gaming." And I vividly remember someone saying, "Oh, if that's the case, then pirating is not illegal."
I put it in images as the response to it. It's the Ubisoft exec says gamers need to get comfortable with, quote, not owning your games.
Yes, please,
The
can you
person
share
said
that image?
everything will be a per month subscription, blah blah blah. It's already in there. I guess if buying games doesn't mean you own them, then piracy isn't stealing. It's in the idea box
Exactly.
immediately above the.
Oh right, I think it's
the
because
worm
you.
and
It's
Mina.
because I sent it. Yeah, I sent the text and sent the image. I. What?
I
Look-
do hate streaming services for what they've done for everything. I miss being able to buy something and owning it forever.
Yep.
As it should.
It's on live service to me is there's kind of like a mixed bag to it because on the one hand it's basically it'll only exist as long as it keeps going, but on the other hand it's a system that allows games to be ongoing development for much longer and end up with more content, be bigger games because they have it's like basically compare like a modern live service game to like Call of Duty. Call of Duty, they release the one thing every year, maybe a DLC or something, and then the servers will be up for maybe 3 years before they take them down, and effectively the game's dead.
Mm-hmm.
Because you only get money when the game initially gets purchased, so you have no reason to just keep the servers up. But if you're a game that has a continuous source of income that relies on the servers being up to do that, you have an incentive to keep the servers up, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Oh, that also that leads then into the other side of it, where you have like the Paradox games, where it's like, yeah, it's live service, but instead of like multiple servers or whatever, it's just via every like 3 months there's a new DLC. So after a few years, if you want to own everything in the game, that'll be $200.
Huh.
Yeah, like if I go to like Steam,
Jesus, what?
the Stellaris on Steam. Hold on. Alright, let's see. The Stellaris Ultimate Bundle, alright? Which is save 10% on all 17 items. Your price, $236.53.
Jesus Christ. That's so much money.
Yeah. And the thing is, that's not even all the content for the game.
Wish I could get
Grant,
that in
that's
a
probably-
day.
Let's see. Yeah. Like, if you were to buy all the DLC for the game, that's nearly $300. Granted, that includes like the complete soundtrack, the ebook, some other random crap that no one cares about.
Bruh, that's
But, like, still.
nearly- It's like the price of a console.
Yeah, for one game. Granted, it's a really good game, but like,
What is
Bruh.
Stellaris about? I assume
Mars
exploring.
is that's the Paradox space war crime simulator,
Ah, yes, war crime
as
simulator.
opposed to the Paradox World War II war crime simulator and Paradox Victorian Age war crime simulator and the Paradox Crusade Age war crime simulator.
Oh god.
Paradox Interactive invented history to sell more map games.
So fun fact about data that I got for the Roomba last week. Just quick intermission. We can also cross this off the Roomba, the idea box. But the other day, 31st of January, we had more detailed data on how many people actually go Palworld. And it's 19 million. 12 million from Steam and 7 million from Xbox. What the fuck? This game
Medium
sounds
size?
like
2
hot
weeks,
churros.
People still insist on chest thumping for Nintendo over this shit.
Yeah. Yeah,
The
we
idiots
had.
they are.
I had someone just cut every single sense of a relation with most of the people in a Pokemon group because someone shared a meme for Power World and they went on an absolute rant. Alright.
Oh boy. Worm.
And I'm just, no, we're just going back to normal.
I know.
Worm is no more. You're welcome, Mina.
Worms no more.
I'll use my large batch of 100,000 channel points.
Jesus,
100,000 Mappa coins.
Jesus Christ.
I
Well, at
cannot
least-
explain to you how bad this phobia truly is.
When she told me, I genuinely felt sorry that I had her do this. Because I
So, like,
genuinely like Wormpole.
Were it not for Jimmy, I would just never draw Wormhole. Out of the sheer disgust. Alright, so, just to like switch gears real quick. Wednesday, I think
Sorry.
it was. You're good.
Just the
On
foam fell.
Wednesday- Oh,
It's okay. I grabbed it with the feet, so the landing was softer. Anyway, continue, please. Sorry. Wednesday.
So Wednesday, sorry, I was talking to someone. There was a caterpillar that crawled into our garage, and I didn't notice it until I came home from dropping off my brother at work, because right now we only have one car. And I screamed and I ran inside, and to this day I have not entered the garage out of pure fear. Right? And like I cannot get myself to enter the garage, even though I need to refill my dog's water bowl. I can't do it. And so I called my mom, and she told me it's okay, you're fine. I called my dad. He's like, just push it with the broom. But the broom's in the garage, and I can't fucking grab it. And I can see this thing moving closer to the inside of the house. So I called Dio, and I'm like, help, please, there's a caterpillar. I don't want to be here alone. Because it was just me and Roxy.
I can just imagine Mina just in the corner in
I'm
fear.
in the living room, screaming, crying. I have to get ready for work in about 20 minutes. And it took all 20 minutes for Dio to hype me up. Because this poor guy had just woken up. He messaged me, hey, I'm awake. Because he works night shifts.
Oh,
And
God.
I called him immediately, and I'm like, honey. He's like, what? What's wrong? Because he genuinely thought something was wrong. Which it was for me, but not for him.
Yeah.
And
The
I'm like, there's a
caterpillar.
caterpillar in the garage and I'm alone.
You know the meme of Gordon Ramsay with a kid? Oh dear, oh dear. Where he just hugs
Yes.
the very start. When I read that text, I just felt like that. I sent Mina a gif of like Sully from Monsters Incredible, just like, big hug for you.
Like, I just couldn't. I was like legitimately on the verge of tears, and I was ready to throw up looking at it. And there was no broom to push it out with, so I just grabbed the Windex, and all Dio could hear at the end of those 20 minutes of me screaming, crying, shitting myself, right, is fuck as I try to spray this thing. But it does not die. It doesn't stop moving, and I'm crying because I cannot go take a shower without properly knowing this thing is dead and not gonna crawl into the house.
Oh, you remind me of something that happened to me. I think I actually did tell it on the room. I'm not sure. Probably didn't. It's just a story. But you remind me of the time that I went to grab my father's, like, you know what you use to cut your nails?
Nail clipper, yeah.
Yeah, nail clipper. I enter my father's bathroom just like nothing, and then I see a giant cockroach in the fucking sink. I'm like, oh god, oh fuck, oh god. I just backed away. I'm like, okay. I closed the door. I'm like, okay, what now?
Nope.
Yeah, I
Just no.
just pulled like, no.
Fine.
And it was just in the sink, just vibing. I'm like, okay. I closed the door to the bathroom. I'm like, okay, what the fuck do I do now? And then I see that there's an anti-cockroach spray right next to my parents' hall, because my parents' bedroom is like a hall with my parents, which each one has their own bathroom. They share bedroom, they share closet, clothes closet. And so I grabbed the spray. I'm like, okay, you have to do this. And I just put on the most serious face. I entered with spraying hand, and just like I was doing like an execution. I pointed the spray and just stayed there like a good 10 seconds, just spraying the damn thing, and I did not stop. And then I exited. And I'm like, okay, now I have to wait. I opened the window a little bit. And okay, I have to wait now for the fumes to clear a bit. See if that the damn thing's still alive. Spray more if it is. If it's not, I just call my sister or my mom to please help me figure out how the fuck to move this thing, because I am not touching it more. I'm already spooked enough.
Things are scary, dude. I hate them.
The first, the first time I had an encounter with a cockroach is the closest the cockroach has ever gotten to me, because it was in my nightstand table, and I was in my bed, and I just turned on the light, and I had like it was kind of small, but there was a cockroach, and I was just like 10 centimeters away from it. I got fucking spooked. In that case, I just grabbed like a paper cup, put the cockroach there, grab a like a paper handkerchief, put it underneath, I just threw the bitch out the window.
Welcome back, Andy.
Hi Andy, welcome back.
No.
Right. That was certainly a scary encounter.
Yeah, it was
If,
certainly a
if it
moment.
would not-
You know that.
I know that
Yeah.
bugs have their place, right? They have their place in the ecosystem. They're super important.
Yep,
But fuck bugs.
true. I mean, there's some cool bugs. Oh yeah, okay. Another
cool.
encounter I had with a bug really close to my face. Once I encountered a mantis.
I had a mantis like attack my foot once. That was weird.
But like nearly the same place. I think it was instead of like on the side of the nightstand, I think it was on top of the nightstand. I'm like, oh, hi there. I just like on my bed, like laying down on my bed. I was just staring at it, just do its thing. Wait, was it on top of my bed? I don't remember it right now. I think it was in my nightstand on the or the headrest, one or two. And it was just doing its thing. I was just fascinated by this bug because it's not common to see a mantis. And except cockroaches and mosquitoes, because God, I fucking hate mosquitoes. I'm just very curious about bugs. And I just like stared at it for like a good. You didn't miss much. We just talked about funny things about bridges. Mina talked about her phobia about caterpillars, like a caterpillar event. I talked about an event that I had with a couple cockroaches, and now I'm talking about an event that I had with a mantis.
In short terms, bugs.
Yes, a lot of bugs. But yeah, in the end, what I did was similar. I put it in a paper cup, but instead of like throwing it out the window, I took it outside and I left it outside on the garden that we have because I was like, you're a cool bug. I'm not gonna do anything bad to you.
Yeah.
Poor thing was
It's kind of like
freaking out.
I forgot to mention when I was fighting that caterpillar in my garage, I chucked a chancla at it and I missed.
Oh no.
Chancla
Oh,
wasn't
no.
mine; it was my brother's, and it just landed outside.
Okay.
I had to go pick it up, but I was screaming the entire time.
Feels bad, man. Oh yeah. By the way, you kind of also missed worm mode, but yeah, if you have 2,500 points, you can turn me into a worm and scare the shit out of Mina. Poor girl. We feel bad about Mina, but it's also kind of funny. We love you though. Like trust me. Poor Mina. So
Let's see.
next in the idea box.
Mina, something about a baby shark. Specifically, a great white baby shark.
Oh yes. So recently we
Do-do-do-do-do.
had the first documented photo of a baby great white shark. Because I don't know if you guys know this, but great white sharks are very mysterious creatures. We know nothing about their reproductive habits.
Mm-hmm.
Next to nothing. So the fact that we were able to capture a photo of a baby great white shark, which I don't believe has ever been seen before, is phenomenal, right? That thing is so fucking cute. If we can bring it up on screen, that'd be great. But yeah, we've never been able to capture a baby great white shark before, and we have no idea where great white sharks go during their reproductive area, right?
Yep.
So for a lot of sharks, we know their courtship rituals. We know where they go when they plan to mate, and we know, like, if they do it in groups or if we know if they do it like individually. But for great white sharks, we know next to nothing. We don't know where they go. We don't know if they do it individually, one-on-one. We don't know if they go together in large groups and
And do that.
We don't even know if they lay eggs or if they're oviviparous. They give birth to live young.
Hmm.
We have our our suspicions, right? Because we've seen female great white sharks that have washed ashore dead with pups inside them, but we've never seen, like, we've never found a great white shark giving birth as we
Hmm.
have with other sharks. Like with swell sharks and sand sharks, ones that are closer to the shore. We know that they lay eggs. They lay their clutch of eggs, and sometimes they wash ashore. They're called mermaid's purses because, they're just little sacks with the sharks coiled up inside. But other
Mhm.
sharks, like I said, they give birth to live young. So the eggs are growing inside of the mother. The first one born gets to eat the rest of them, and then she gives birth to whatever's left, if
What?
there are any, right? They're just swimming around inside, eating the other eggs for nourishment.
Oh.
It's it's tough, but it's the way of the world.
Yeah, I was just kind of surprised.
We've actually have footage of a shark who has a camera inside so that we can see what the baby shark looks like, and that's exactly what's happening. Even other sharks that hatch, if they're not big enough to swim away inside, they get eaten by the bigger shark.
Law of the
But
jungle.
we have no idea if this happens with great whites or not. It's theoretical, right? Because other sharks who swim out in the open ocean do this,
Mm-hmm.
but we've never had evidence of it. So yeah, uh, for marine biology, finding the breeding grounds of the great white sharks is like the holy grail.
Mm-hmm.
And it's exciting that we get one step closer to that by having that picture of the baby great white shark. Especially being that small, it means he was born somewhat recently, which is super exciting, which means we have to go keep checking that area.
Oh. Do we know what area is it? Like
Let me look it up. It was here in California, I believe.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
However, there's also great white shark populations in South Africa.
Well, that's a disparity of places for white sharks to be.
I mean, not really. Wherever there's find great white sharks.
I mean, like I'm just imagining a map of California and then South Africa. And they're kind of like, if you look at it like in a standpoint of like latitude, north south is latitude.
Yeah.
Yeah, the latitude's pretty different. That's why I was saying that. That's why I'm surprised.
So we have this thing called a shark tracker on oceanurch.org, where you can track whichever great white sharks they all have names. Great white sharks look like they tend to stay in the Atlantic Ocean, but every now and again they'll come to the Pacific. It's actually much more concentrated than you might think.
Hmm.
We do have some shark populations also going around in Australia, but for the most part, they're not really in the Atlantic Ocean
Hmm.
or in the Pacific Ocean. They mostly stick to
Hmm.
the Atlantic. I will put the tracker in the Roombas chats.
So if we wanted to see it, we can check it.
Check out, yeah.
Okay. Also, Mina, that GIF you sent is very funny.
Oh,
That's
I love
Space
Space Dandy.
Yeah, I was going to say that's Space Dandy, right?
Yes, it's Space Dandy. I have the manga. I love it. Okay.
Me.
Uh,
Oh wait, do you want to talk more about it?
Give me 1 second. I'm just.
Okay.
So this was found off the coast of Carpinteria, California, and it was actually found by a filmmaker, which is super exciting. So
Ooh.
they were discovered by a filmmaker and a student of the Department of Biology at the University of California, Riverside.
Mhm.
And yeah, because this little guy is pure white, he has none of the gray coloring that is telltale of an adult great white shark. It's very highly suspected that he's a newborn.
I mean, also the fact if he's like tiny, that also might give it away.
It is tiny, but also another thing is that he was covered in this white film, right? This white
Ah,
sling as he was swimming. So it is very highly suspected he's literally newborn,
tiny shark.
still
Or
starting off his embryonic layer.
order.
We love our sharks in here. Sharks
Yes.
are cool. They're very cool creatures. Picture a little picture as bad guys, but you know, fish are food. Fish are friend, not food.
Reminder that you're more likely to be bit by a New Yorker than you are to be bit by a shark.
Okay, that's a comparison, I guess.
More likely to be killed by a vending machine than by a shark.
You can be killed by a vending machine.
Sharks are in nature.
Yeah, if
It's
they
not
fall
like
over.
they're maliciously biting you.
Okay, fair.
Yeah, it's. I mean, there's the big famous one. Of you're more likely to be killed by a cow. It's like, what's the statistic? People killed annually by shark
Likely to
attack.
be killed by a cow than win the
Oh.
lottery.
Yep. Between 5 and 6 deaths per year is the average for sharks. Average.
How can a cow kill you? Is falling on you, or actually like horn? Wait, do cows
Oh,
even have
never
horns?
mind. Never mind. Vending machine is a lower number. Okay, never mind. Unless that data is just the U.S. Actually, no. This is just U.S. Yeah.
Internets have a higher kill rate than
It's
sharks.
vending machines have a higher kill rate. It's just the first result for Google is exclusively Americans.
Okay.
Sharks generally don't go after humans because humans suck.
Yeah. Humans just
They-
don't taste good to sharks.
It's humans don't taste good, and also, human fat content is too low, and yet unless you're an American, so.
Oh my God.
Actually, that's another thing. Apparently, worldwide obesity is now a bigger problem than nourishment.
Obesity is worse than malnourishment. Yeah, I
Well, a
Obesity
more prevalent
rates are now
problem.
higher
can. That's kind of sad.
Things are looking up in the world. Things are looking up in the world. Let's go.
I mean, I wouldn't say that.
That's one way to look at it.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's one way to look at it. God,
Listen, cannibals like the taste of pork. Sharks do not.
I'm sorry. What?
Human beings are more akin to the taste of pork.
I'm now concerned that you know that information.
I watch a lot of true crime.
You know what? Fair enough.
I also watch Ask a Mortician. She's very cool. I love her information so much.
I don't really. Honest. Okay.
Cannibals. Kid, don't start with that. That's literally a point in any California history textbook where they have to touch on the cannibalism.
Yeah, the Donner Party. There is also the cannibalism in the Andes with that football team from Uruguay. Their plane crashed, and so in order to survive being in the Andes, a mountain range that is just snow, they had to resort to cannibalizing the dead.
Moving on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
please.
The curb cut effect. What's that about, Maeve?
No,
No,
we
no,
have
no.
the peanut hole.
A peanut hole. Yes.
Peanut
So,
hole.
again, I would like everyone to take a guess at what is or was the peanut hole.
I assume a hole in the size of a peanut, or in the form of a peanut.
This is gonna be a wild one, but it just sounds like something like a game show or something. I don't know.
Alright, Mina, what do you think?
Wait, sorry. What was the question?
What do you think the peanut hole is or was?
Peanut hole. I have no clue. It just sounds like a processing plant to me, but like somebody was a dick when they nicknamed it.
Just like the chicken cave from the one game. I think I know what
Jimmy
game.
is the closest. Jimmy is the closest.
Okay.
Because what the peanut hole was a quirk of international law that resulted in a region that roughly resembled the shape of a peanut, supposedly. But what this was, is this was a location in, hold on, I have to make sure I pronounce this right. Because it's not an English word. In the Sea of Okhotsk, which is the sea that is north of Japan, between that one Russian peninsula that goes south from the far eastern side of Siberia.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it was named for its shape. Was an area about 55 kilometers wide and 480 kilometers long.
Oh, that's pretty big.
And what it was is it was a region of international waters entirely surrounded by the exclusive economic zone of Russia. Because the shores of the Kamchatka Peninsula, the Kuril Islands, and Sakhalin Islands, the Russian mainland, were all basically all kind of surrounding it. Is all Russia basically surrounding the sea. Right in the middle is an area that's far enough away from any piece of coastline that waters.
Huh?
Uh,
Did the Russians
since
finally
the peanut
conquer it?
hole. No. So what it was is so it's just this region of international waters that legally anyone could fish there. And so some other countries began doing so in fairly large numbers. Removing perhaps as much as 1 million metric tons of fish. Which was seen as a problem, seeing as, the fish swim in and out of that region.
That's a lot of fish.
And I should note, by some countries started to do this, you've got the ones you'd expect like China, Japan, South Korea, but you also have Poland.
What is Poland doing there?
Yeah, what the why are Polish fishers going to the Sea of Okhotsk other than just mess with the Russians? But because
Probably that.
the Sea of Okhotsk is over by Siberia. It's north of Japan.
The fish is gonna spoil at that point.
Apparently also some Ukrainian fishers too, but not nearly in as many numbers. In 2013, the Russians went to the UN and was like, yo, this is kind of stupid. It's literally surrounded on all sides by our EEZ. It's not like it's a navigable waters area. Can we just, extend the EEZ in this area to fully encapsulate it? And UN's like, yeah, sure. So, it got given fully to them over, yeah.
Oh,
Icarus
those
is going
Russians.
in chat on about New Amsterdam, blah blah blah. Yeah. Dutch colonization went very well.
It's called Zealand.
Mhm.
What a mess. What the fuck?
Anyway, yes. Moving on from funny international law to the curb cut effect. So, this is a phenomena that is named or something you'll see very commonly in the U.S. and presumably in other places, which is in the U.S. is a result of, I'm pretty sure, the Americans with Disabilities Act. Various ancillary laws, addendums to it. So what this is in the U.S., at least and presumably in other places, on the corners of on most street corners, the sidewalk uh, dips down to the level of the street, so people in wheelchairs can get in and out. I don't think this is as common in the Netherlands because instead they just bring the level of the street up to the level of the sidewalk, at least in some places. Uh, because the Dutch are cool like that. Yeah, so they basically take a cut out of the street corner sidewalk, the curb, uh, so like people in wheelchairs can get onto and off of the sidewalk and cross the street.
Mm-hmm.
That's the reason that this was adopted. Curb cut effect, though, specifically relates to ways introducing that structure helps other people who aren't disabled. For example, the person on skateboard, person on bicycle, person pushing stroller, male person with the cart of mail or whatever, so on and so forth. The curb cut effect basically refers to the other benefits and making easier and whatever brought along as a beneficial side effect of inclusion measures meant to make it accessible to people with disabilities or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
That applies to like your standard disability things like the obviously curb cut, also those similar ones for like the disabled parking spaces, the button activated doors on buildings, uh there's a bunch of stuff with games, uh so on and so forth, subtitles, uh um, all those kinds of things. It's basically, I just put it in there because it's something I remembered when I was talking about it. It's basically a lot of those like things that make it easier to do things in life that originated as some kind of uh infrastructure modification or bit of code or whatever meant to make it easier for someone with disabilities to make use of the
Exist.
thing. Yeah. That exists primarily for helping disabled people, but make it easier for you to do things. All of that is classified under the curb cut effect.
Hmm.
Makes sense.
Another example of that would be like uh, warning things that are in both visual and audio. Or right, here's another one, Mina. You know how in the U.S. On those curb cuts you've got those yellow bumpy things
Yellow.
that are like bolted onto the
Holding?
concrete.
I think so, yeah.
Which are so blind people
Oh, yes, where they
like
know
feel
where
it kind of thing. Yeah, know where the cross and feel like the warning thing. But the other thing that's interesting with those is why they are bright yellow.
not all blindness is necessarily.
Yeah.
Blindness.
Not all blindness is total blindness.
My friend
So
Maddie,
even if you
she
can't see
has
details, you can
partial
see, here's the
Visually
bright
blind.
yellow square. This means there's a crossing here, kind of thing.
But also,
Uh,
do yours have reflectors?
uh, usually not, at least in the part of Cali I'm from, or around here where my union.
I feel like they
Not usually. Usually reflectors now.
usually, I'm just saying, I feel like they should.
Maybe. I don't know.
Next thing?
Uh,
Honestly, something that
what? Peter
some,
Pitts mentioned something about leap years. I don't know what the hell he's talking about.
No, what's the next thing? Yeah.
Oh, leap year. Yeah, something happens. It's called the U.S. election. It's every 4 years. Leap year.
Could be.
Jimmy, I hate that second picture you put in images. That is awful. I hate it.
I find it really funny. So,
Well, I guess I have to.
Usually it is related to whatever the fuck comes out of a U.S. election, because the U.S. makes the most amount of noise, depending what's happening.
Yep.
Yeah, that happens when you have like 60% of the world's military.
Yep. That's American, baby.
But when you have the vast majority of the world's military and a significant portion of the world's economy, everyone kind of has to pay attention to shit that goes on in your country. Plus, we've got a permanent seat on the UN Security Council. Which, honestly, the permanent seats on the UN Security Council are dumb.
I forgot that. For some reason, I forgot to put it to get it out manually after stream that. Just don't mind.
Speaking of members of the speaking of permanent members of the UN Security Council, Russia.
Ah. Sorry.
Yep.
Russia.
Seems they got accused of using chemical weapons, huh?
Chemical warfare. Napalm.
No, not napalm. Napalm something else. Yeah. So, in their current ongoing efforts to embarrass themselves by invading a smaller neighbor, Russia has reportedly, at least in some places, begun using chemical weapons, which is, no, a war crime of pretty high orders. Chemical
Yeah,
weapons
the
are
problem is
legally
nobody's
classified as weapons of mass destruction.
Wow.
But the problem is nobody's fucking gonna do anything.
No one's gonna fucking do anything. Now, the thing is to keep in mind, it's the stuff they're accused of using is like pretty low level stuff. I mean, it's still, chemical. It's not like they're using mustard gas.
Small favor.
No, it's they're basically. Hold on, let me double check the article of what they're accused of doing. It is like a World War I era piece of crap, but it's
Still a war crime.
No World War.
yeah. It's like an agricultural antimicrobial fungicide, whatever. It's an irritant, but it's not like fully like awful. But yeah, it's like they found some stuff. The other thing that's in there you'll note is that I also mentioned that they admitted to using them as well. That is a Russian brigade commander said that they had tear gas on Ukrainian positions, which is one of those weird bits of law, because tear gas is frequently used by like police and shit to break up riots, but legally the military's not allowed to use it because it's a chemical agent. So it's considered chemical warfare.
What to say?
So it's one of those weird quirks of the law where the U.S. military is not allowed to use it, but it's perfectly okay for police to use it on civilians.
Even though technically,
Yeah, right.
Police officer, you just need 6 to 8 weeks of training.
Yeah, it's the same thing. Like pepper spray, legally, military's not allowed to use it because it would legally be a chemical weapon.
And yet, I have pepper spray on me at this very moment.
I mean, It's one of those. That's one of those weird quirks where they have to make the law overly encompassing to make sure people don't skirt too close to it, kind of thing. So it's on the one hand, Russia's fucking using chemical weapons. On the other hand, so far at least, they've been mostly just really minor things. But at the same time, sure, try not to commit war crimes challenge. Impossible.
Impossible. So that
Uh,
answer this.
but before we move on from this though, from Russia, there's one other thing I want to mention. It's not in the idea box, but it's something that happened that's fucking hilarious. So Russia lost another boat to Ukrainian sea drones,
How
and
do
that's
you
not
do
the
that?
funny part. That's not the funny part that Russia continues to lose a naval war to a country without a navy. Funny part is Russia had the audacity to claim the drones,
Bless you.
the ship
Bless you.
destroyed
Bless you.
Bless
while it
you.
was under attack as a victory. Now, the thing to know is the drones that were destroyed during the attack on this Russian ship were destroyed when their detonators activated. So the Russians are claiming as a victory the drones that hit their ship and blew up. They're claiming those as destroyed, and they're calling that a victory.
Right.
You gotta take them where you can, I guess.
Dude,
They have to take it where they can, because
men have all sorts of
Sure.
audacity.
Yeah.
Not to make this about men, right? But men have all sorts of audacity that they really didn't earn.
this Russia, whose current propaganda win that they're saying on their state media is they've advanced 2 kilometers in one spot on the front line from where they started. 2 kilometers in 2 years at the cost of 20,000 men. That
Yeah,
one
just-
spot.
Just throw a couple thousand men more. It's not like Russia really cares.
Oh, they don't. They're unironically using human wave assaults.
I know. That's why I say that. Russia's always been
it's-
throw as many men as you can.
They're literally LARPing as the Red Army in a shitty 1960s World War II movie. Or what's the exact word I used earlier? Yeah. They've been using human wave attacks like a late 20th century Eastern Front World War II film caricature of the Red Army. It's so just... Anyway, moving on.
So the kid asked the kind of funny question. Describe the world currently via a song. Mina said, what to say? Meanwhile, Mina's, when you have a bad day, take it one down. You sing a sad song.
And kid just went, they see me rolling.
So I wanted to know, Meep and Bolt, since you two haven't answered, what would be your answer?
Hold on.
I think I don't have one.
Bruh.
Oh, no, that's not it.
Think harder, Bolt. Or I'm gonna put 2 slices of bread on your face and ask you, what are you?
Don't. You
alright.
dare.
Alright.
Then think harder.
So this is one you may have heard snippets of before. Do you remember when the Minecraft community was up in arms in the protest of the Minecraft mob vote?
That was a while ago. That was a couple
Do you remember
months
how
back.
they were making like legitimate like propaganda art of like protest and mob vote crap?
Yes, I did. I do remember that.
I do know that. Mm-hmm.
Did you see the compilations of it where they all had that same one song?
No.
So that was a thing that was done. It was the song that was used
Crib.
was Feed the Machine by the band Poor Man's Poison, which is basically just the modern version of Rage Against the Machine.
Huh.
It basically the song The song's a little confusing to listen to and try and understand what it's saying. I found someone like fan animation it, basically unofficial music video animation kind of thing,
Yeah.
and like got across what it was saying so well. It's basically just uh Mao, rich people bullying the poor, the Mao. That's basically the song.
Bruh.
The the yeah. I think the best part though about the animation was like the all like the little average Joe characters are all blindfolded, and the blindfold's labeled American Dream.
Yikes.
Which honestly is a valid interpretation of how the concept of the American dream works in American society.
Yikes.
Help us.
Because it's used to be something like, oh yeah, that's the American dream, and if you work hard, you can get it. But now it's the, oh, you worked hard, but you couldn't get it? Oh, it's not your fault. It's certainly not my fault. It's the fault of that group over there. Oh, I've told it's your fault. They'll fight each other while I continue to rake in a bajillion dollars.
What's what's everyone's song with the happy things? Hey, what's everyone? What? Yeah, it's called irony probably, or
It's
satire.
a vibe, but it gets.
Yeah,
It's
it's a form of auditory irony, I think it would be, because it's on the one hand you've got the really upbeat boogie dance song, but then yeah, specifically like pumped up kicks. That's the upbeat boogie type the beat to it and the instrumental. Then like the actual lyrics are like, no, oh, that's not what's going on here at all.
It's like
Oh.
it's like that kind of comment you see sometimes in videos.
It's
like
the manic violence that you want to express, but legally.
yeah, it's like
It's
when.
manic violence. Sorry.
No. You continue. You continue.
So for pumped up gigs specifically, right? It's that manic violence that you like want to express, but legally you cannot because we as a society have deemed that to be illegal. But the vibes are there, and it calms. It honestly, hearing someone else express the same mania that you are, or that same pain, that same rage, whatever, but also vibing while they're doing it calms
It's
you
like
down a
when
little
you
bit,
find
you know?
out in the original RoboCop, in one of the scenes where RoboCop's just going in and bang, 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 and just absolutely shooting the shit out of all the criminals or whatever. And when you learn the actor during that scene had like vibe music on basically for his phones to like drown out the sound of all the squibs and shit going off. It's just like vibing as you go,
But one of the
just
songs
styling on
that
people.
people really
The original RoboCop's a really good movie. I need to actually get around to properly watching
I'll
it.
watch it with you. One of the songs that people really vibed with a lot was called "Dancing with the Devil." Let me see if I can find the artist.
What was I going to say?
It is a very, very dark song, though.
Oh yeah, I remember. Like
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
so, what I was going to point out, some of these songs, they really are just when you're happy, you enjoy the song. When you're sad, you understand the lyrics, kind of music. And when you understand the lyrics, like, oh no. It's a big no. No. Oh no.
It's a big no.
Okay, yeah, so I found it. "Dance with the Devil" by Immortal Technique is one of those dark songs, right? Where like the hip hop vibes are there. They're fantastic. It's phenomenal. But the lyrics are so incredibly dark and disturbing that you, unless you live the life that they're talking about, it's like one of those songs that you need to shut off immediately. But knowing the history of where hip hop comes from, or knowing what Immortal Technique has gone through, it's something that resonates much deeper. But they're talking about
I
drugs
think
and some guy who accidentally raped his mom.
Huh?
Oh.
Well, that was.
That,
moving on. Yeah. On the topic of like songs with like the dark lyrics, but it's like done like in a kind of like tasteful manner or whatever. I don't know how to exactly explain, but like
it sounds happy, but
so.
it's not at all good lyrics.
No, this isn't that bold. This is a dreary song about a horrible event. It's like it's done in such a way where it's like respectful kind of thing for it. So one of the bands I listen to a lot is Swedish metal band Sabaton because all their songs are history things.
You know, so they're all kind of
And
bops.
yeah, they got the bops, in all history lyrics, which is me, but yeah, they one of their songs, uh, is about the Holocaust,
Oh.
but it is done in such a way that it's like respectful because it's very low, dreary, downbeat, and very like clearly in the way where it's like, oh, this is awful. Like specifically focusing on how awful it is in the lyrics of it.
Oh.
So, I think it's a legitimately good song. It's because it's done so well.
You know what's another song that has like some dark vibes, but is also like a vibe?
Yes.
We don't.
Hey Ya by Aha. Or no, it wasn't Aha. Fuck it. I'm just thinking the song. Hey Ya.
Really?
I think I know which one you mean, yeah.
I know
no,
exactly
no.
which one you're talking about. That's why I'm confused.
You know Shuba Duck?
Who?
Jimmy, do you know any of them? By
Okay.
Outkast?
I heard Hey Ya, but I only really remember. I remember really vaguely because it's been a long time since I heard that song. And I don't really remember the group.
2, 3, nah, baby. You know that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that song.
That one, yeah. What about it?
Oh, just remembered another song that's like the really like kind of dreary, downbeat, sadder one. Uh, is there's a Metallica song, just titled One. Oh, one, like how you spell the number, and uh, it's one of those really kind of, especially when you think about an anti-war song. Uh, where basically the subject of it is a wounded veteran who just got absolutely bonked. Just basically the point of it is that it's singing about someone who is basically one of the lines is basically referring he the subject of the song is being how awfully they got injured in it. Uh, one of the lines is literally "body my holding cell." It's a raw ass song. It's one of those like hardcore anti-war songs because awful things. There's a lot of bands. There was a lot of anti-war songs in the past from like uh when was Metallica founded? I forget. Uh, from the like the 80s, yeah, the 80s because that was coming off the Vietnam War.
Yeah, heels of
Like, the
war.
Vietnam War was the 70s, yeah, yeah. Vietnam War era, post-Vietnam War era, there's a lot of anti-war
yeah.
songs and stuff.
Yeah, that shit went kind of just hard on that era. It's like
The
no
Vietnam
more
War was
war.
incredibly unpopular.
Yep.
Yeah, Vietnam War was insanely unpopular, and to an extent, the U.S.-Afghan War is very similar to the Vietnam War in a lot of ways, except it was an arid flatland instead of a jungle.
What?
Yeah, it was a really long war that wasn't super popular, and basically the second the U.S. leaves, the U.S. allied government just immediately collapses.
Oh. Oof.
The only difference is the amount of people that got eaten by crocodiles.
The difference is the amount of chemical weapons the U.S. used.
That's true. But
And the amount of oil they got out of it.
crocodiles.
Or
No, the Afghanistan wasn't for oil.
okay. Oh wait,
That
no,
was
that was the
Desert Storm.
Iran or that was an
No,
Iran.
Yeah, that was Desert Storm. Desert Storm was oil. Afghanistan was 9/11.
Oh.
Or at least the pretense that was 9/11. Remember the Dick Cheney organized 9/11.
Huh?
Oh, the Afghanistan was just a mess. But you know what? The U.S. eventually, just like Vietnam, eventually decides to just cut its losses and leave. And except the difference is when the U.S. left Vietnam, everyone really liked it, but when the U.S. left Afghanistan, the person who did it got a lot of shit for it, even though it was the previous administration that decided they were going to do it. Because U.S. politics.
Yippee.
That it takes forever to actually get a policy in place, and by the time you feel that policy, there's a new administration.
Well, no, it was also because the outgoing administration purposefully put the timetable to be so the next administration would have to deal with it immediately.
Wow.
Because the Orange Man is an asshole.
Wait, what? What does what?
Yeah, Trump wasn't in place then, wasn't he?
Trump set up the pull out of Afghanistan timetable, and then Biden carried it out on his timetable and got a lot of shit from it from the Republicans.
Wait, hold on. The Afghanistan war was still going on up until now?
Yes!
What the fuck?
The
I
U.S.
didn't
pulled out of
know.
Afghanistan like a month after Biden took office.
Oh.
Years ago.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was
Yeah,
that early. That, recent.
Yeah, no, because that was the U.S. pulled out, and the U.S. didn't even finish pulling out before the Taliban just took over the country.
Again.
Yeah, it's like the joke. The joke was the only difference between the picture of the Taliban posing pictures before the U.S. invaded and after is now they have the proper discipline to not have their fingers on the triggers of their AK-47s. It's the thing to keep in mind with war in Afghanistan, with the way those kinds of things set up work, is it was basically not going to work from the start, because that's not how you do nation building. That's not how that works. But every battle the U.S. fought in Afghanistan, the U.S. won. The problem is, you can't just keep winning against an insurgency. That's not how it works.
Especially because it's not like it's a formal government or anything. It's just a bunch
Yeah.
of people who keep getting radicalized. And as long as the idea still exists, so will the radicalization.
Yeah. It's a mess that they have to work out. It's a mess. Now
Yeah,
the
in
big
Vietnam,
thing
they
some
used
people are chest
psychological
thumping for is
warfare.
saying the U.S. should go in on Iran. Like, bro, no, that's stupid. Have you
In
seen
Vietnam,
a topographical map of Iran? It's like all mountain.
later, kid.
See you, kid.
You kid.
In Vietnam, they used to do psychological warfare where they would play the ghostly noises of the spirits of the dead in order to dissuade the the Vietnamese from attacking. They don't do
There's
that
did a lot of
anymore.
psychological warfare things in Vietnam. Most of which didn't work, but you know. The
It was
U.S.
a fun.
also bombed Cambodia a whole bunch for the crime of being next to Vietnam.
Americans are
Because Henry Kissinger was a bitch.
he was a bitch, and I'll slap him in hell when I see him.
Beep, I need to send you something because I just saw it and I immediately thought of you.
Moving on.
I'm sending
on,
it to
yeah.
images so everyone can see it.
Alright, hold on,
Because
let's
it's a
see
meme.
what this new image is. Under that cursed
Right.
picture of Arceus. Yes, that meme, yes.
That
That's
is
exactly.
that
In the
is
meantime-
literally you.
Yes, that is me. I have seen that exact meme and I've sent it around before.
So
Alright.
Moving on from
The
moving on from
Cybertruck.
Depresso.
Cybertruck made of stainless steel and it rusted.
Yes. So the Tesla Cybertruck, as I memed on previously, has an all stainless steel construction. However,
It was stainless as we thought.
it's the specific formulation of stainless steel they've used rusts, which means it's
How?
not stainless steel. The thing is, Jimmy, it's specifically noted that it's certain like highly corrosive things that can cause problems to it, such as salt,
Hmm.
you know, road salt,
Oh.
Right.
which
It's been winter.
Oh.
yeah. Now, this isn't a problem if you have a vehicle designed specifically for Los Angeles and San Francisco, but Teslas aren't designed for places other than Los Angeles and San Francisco.
God.
In fact, basically every Tesla product is like there was a news story of it was in like Minnesota, I think it was, of a bunch of Teslas basically abandoned in parking lot that had the Tesla superchargers in it, because the Tesla superchargers all died in the cold. The Tesla batteries work very poorly in the cold. It's, on one hand, batteries don't do the best in the cold, but you can engineer around it. But Tesla just didn't, because you know, California is California tech bro moment. It's just. It's not just that stainless steel. It's that stainless steel construction without a protective layer.
Hmm.
Normally, if you see a scratch on a car, it's like a scratch on like the outer protective surface for the paint, or maybe at where's a scratch in the paint. But if you see a scratch on a Cybertruck, it's a scratch in the body material. This has got no protection. Because it's just raw stainless steel that isn't even stainless. Like, if you drive somewhere that they have to do road salts because it's winter, you gotta clean it off immediately. If you get, like, bird poop on it, you gotta clean it off immediately. If you get, like, some tree steps on you gotta clean it off immediately. Otherwise, it'll corrode the metal. Because Elon Musk's a fucking idiot.
Proof once again that just because you have a lot of money doesn't mean you are a smart individual.
Yeah.
Chances
Look,
are your brain.
I will say this: the most brilliant thing the 1% has done is they've convinced the rest of the people that cannibalism is cringe, so they will not just eat the rich.
Eat the rich. Eat the rich.
I'm fine, thanks.
Yes. The other thing I saw that's hilarious is, apparently, so this is a thing that was like going through the courts for a while. One of Elon Musk's like stupid large compensation packages from Tesla was ruled illegally large.
Huh?
So this is one of those weird quirks of U.S. law. But basically, one of Tesla's investors sued, claiming that Elon Musk was basically being paid too much, and the board that decided to pay him that much did so unfairly, blah, blah, blah. Because the thing is, legally, in the United States, a publicly traded corporation's #1 priority,
Yeah.
legally, return on investment for the investors. Legally, that is a corporation's #1 priority.
Uh-huh.
And basically, Tesla got sued saying they violated this by a guy who, I kid you not, owned 9 shares. Owned, like, basically none of Tesla, but enough to say he had it, which let him sue Tesla for it. And the court finally ruled, yeah, no, Tesla, you did this wrong. Undo it. Also pay this man's legal fees. Lamau. And that is so funny. The thing is, Tesla's stock price is like buoyed by basically as the Silicon Valley tech bro buoys the stock price of Tesla, which is why they and the board was stock full of Musk loyalists. So like, oh, you want $55 bajillion? Sure, you can have $55 bajillion.
You kind of cut off there. The first line. You kind of cut off there. The Tesla, I think I heard tech bros from Silicon Valley?
Yeah. Yeah, Tesla's stock price is artificially buoyed by Elon Musk's image as the Silicon Valley tech bro. Genius, billionaire, inventor, who's definitely self-made, with definitely no inherited wealth from an apartheid South African emerald mine. It's... Oh, let me see if we can find the exact thing. Yeah. So here's the I found the thing. So a judge, what it was, is voided his quote unfathomable $56 billion Tesla pay package. This was from Delaware, by the way. Tossed out Elon Musk's record-breaking $56 billion Tesla pay package, calling the compensation granted by the EV makers board to quote an unfathomable sum that was unfair to shareholders. Shares of Tesla dropped about 2%, and some investors seized on the ruling in hopes it might prompt Tesla to overhaul its governance. The board has been criticized and failed to provide oversight of its combative, headline-making CEO, has fought regulators and led several other companies at the same time.
What a mess!
Judge found the share-based compensation was negotiated by directors who appeared beholden to Musk, currently ranked by Forbes magazine as the world's richest person.
Wait, richer than Bezos?
It varies based on whose companies are worth more.
Whack.
This would be about a quarter of his $210 billion fortune, calculated by Forbes, which currently ranks about blah 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 blah.
I just love meeps, nonchalant, blah blah blah.
Yeah. Also, yes, I stepped away for a moment, but that was more so because of the fact that I had to take out something small and make sure that I have enough hydration for when I need hydration.
And Elon Musk's response to this is basically to go on Twitter and say, never incorporate your company in the state of Delaware. Just ignore that Delaware's got one of the most corporate-friendly law structures, which is why a lot of companies incorporate in Delaware. It's just, you took the L because you're an idiot. Asshole. Ruling
Nothing
comes as
new.
Tesla's preparing another round of compensation negotiations with the CEO. Who said he was uncomfortable leading Tesla unless he had a 25% of the voting control. He owns 30% of the company. he wants more of Tesla.
Why wouldn't
Many
he?
of the directors of Tesla's board, including current members, Elon Musk's brother, son of media tycoon Rupert Murdoch, lacked independence because of their close personal ties with Elon Musk.
Well, what's the name?
Elon Musk's brother and the son of media tycoon Rupert Murdoch.
Road Murdoch.
Yes, you know.
Essentially, the entire corporate structure of Tesla has been deemed like not appropriate for a public company.
Yeah, they have Rupert Murdoch on it.
No, they have Rupert Murdoch's son.
I don't trust either of them. Probably gonna be as big a creep as his dad.
There's a common Elon Musk L.
Yep.
Yep.
And something of value was lost, and it was Elon Musk's money, which is always a W.
Yes. It always is.
Moving on. Something about Netflix's Atla. Netflix's Avatar: The Last Airbender show. Okay, Mina.
We get to laugh at Netflix doing another shitty show.
Netflix is trying to make their live-action Avatar: The Last Airbender appeal to Game of Thrones fans.
That makes no sense.
Well, that's not a good sign.
Oh boy.
Game of Thrones, the show that very prominently was very, very prominent until it just dropped off the face of the internet.
Let me remind you that Game of Thrones wasn't even popular with Game of Thrones fans.
Bruh. Just,
Talk about hitting a double whammy there.
just bruh. I've never watched Avatar. From what I've seen from videos, it seems good. And I've always heard that most of the Netflix shows are kind of shit.
Both. There's only one.
Netflix
and that's in
adaptation
production
me.
still.
What?
Both live-action adaptations of Avatar do absolutely no justice
Ooh, there's
to
two.
Avatar: The Last Airbender, and I'd argue that Korra is only like hardly holds a candle to it. The original Atla is unironically the most perfect piece of media you could probably watch or consume.
Is very, very good.
I've watched
Like-
the original Airbender as well a couple of times. It's good.
It is a fantastic piece of media. And I saw that some of the actors were uncomfortable displaying some things. Like in early Avatar, Sokka is a huge sexist, right? His sister's supposed to wash the clothes, he's supposed to go out hunting, supposed to watch after everybody. He has like a whole fort because all of the men in the village are gone away at war. And there's only women and children, young children, left in the Southern Water tribe. So Sokka's sexism is a result of the culture they're in. Even in the Northern Water tribe, that sexism is extreme. However, that is the point
And over
of
the
his
course of the show,
character.
he comes to the conclusion that's cringe.
Yes, he comes to the conclusion that's cringe, especially with the addition of the Kyoshi warriors with his main love interest, Suki. Kyoshi was an avatar. She was the strongest avatar and the longest living avatar of 200 years. Why? Nobody knows. She wasn't even an earthbender she wasn't even an airbender that was super spiritual and knew how to live that long. She was just an earthbender with a lot of built up rage.
Oh yeah.
But
The power of Engi.
yeah,
Exactly.
the power of fight will fucking fuel you for years. The point is, Sokka learns that women are just as capable of tearing shit up as he is, especially because one of the most feared antagonists is Azula, a 14-year-old girl.
What?
Oh, you've never seen Azula?
No, 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 no. No, I've seen how Azula looks. That's why I'm saying what.
Yeah, she's 14. Aang is 12. Zuko is the oldest at 16. You forget that all of these characters are preteens and teenagers.
Wait,
Because they're so well written, people
Zuko is the
forget that
firebender?
yes, Zuko's the firebender banished prince.
I thought
Honor
Zuko
him.
was.
He's the guy who first goes after Aang, but then joins him because, oh no, I realize, and also because of the
Hi, I'm Zuko.
forgot the
I'm
name
the
of the older guy,
firebender.
but
On his
Uncle
face.
Iroh?
Uncle Iroh. Yes.
yeah.
The best character.
Yes.
But ironically, yes.
The only character who can compete with Uncle Iroh is Toph.
Melon Lord.
Huh?
Melon Lord.
I am Melon Lord!
Honestly, like the general take of Avatar, the problem with rewatching Avatar is the first season doesn't have Toph.
Yeah. Toph is such an integral character after the second season that rewatching the first season is kind of lonely without her.
I am lonely.
From what I understand of people's thoughts about like Legend of Korra, is like the only part of it they like is they brought Toph back and Toph is still Toph and it's hilarious.
Yes.
Isn't Toph also blind?
Avatar
I
is
think
such a
that was just
perfect
good.
media that
Yes.
it's really watching people try to recreate it in live action and butchering the characters, the pacing, destroying these characters at their fundamental level. It's so frustrating. Like I said, sexism is a huge part of Sokka's character in the beginning, and he grows out of it. It is that growth. And people
It's
are
a
just-
character flaw they get over. That's called character development.
Exactly.
We're allowed to
And-
write characters who are pieces of shit.
People tend to love characters who are pieces of shit. That's why people loved Sokka so much.
People like Darth Vader.
People like Darth Vader, the
And
drama
he looks
queen.
cool, but
People like
Darth
the
Vader is
bad
such a
guys.
drama queen. Yeah, because bad guys always have cooler vibes. They always look cooler.
Fucking Cusco is a piece of shit in the beginning of the movie. People still
Yeah.
quote the shit out of
That's
him.
the whole point of that movie. Is he starts as a piece of shit, and then he stops being a piece of shit. That is the Emperor's New Groove. That is the title.
The
His new groove is he's no longer a piece of shit.
Jinx.
Yeah, that's the whole point of the movie.
I need to watch
So
that
imagine
movie.
doing the Emperor's New Groove, but he's
is a
just
good
a
movie.
just ruler from the beginning and a just ruler at the end. But no,
If
but
he's a just
Sokka-
rule at the beginning and the end, it's not a good movie.
Exactly. But unless you're like switching to a new ruler, right? The struggle to find a new ruler. But the point of a story is that you start at one point and there's change throughout the story, either in the character or in the world. And in Avatar: The Last Airbender, we have both.
The other part of it is a lot of like the references you don't even understand or references a lot of time. Like, for example, there's added meaning behind the part of the story where Zuko's working with Iroh at the tea shop or whatever. Apparently, it's like a trope in a lot of East Asian media. You can show a character is redeemable by having them work as in a customer service job.
Yeah, because customer service fucking changes you as a person, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
Whether for the
It's
better or
like
for
that's
the
one
worse.
of those bits of the story. It's a reference to a trope in a different form of media. Because Avatar is not anime, but it's heavily inspired by it.
Yeah.
The biggest
Uh,
flaw, especially with the movie, the fucking movie, right? There's no movie in Ba Sing Se, but we're gonna talk about it for now. Is that they tried to fit all of book one. It's like JoJo in that regard, right? Where part one of JoJo, part two JoJo, part three. But in this case, each chapter is called a book.
Yeah.
Each season is a
each season of the show, yeah.
And unfortunately, we never got book 4 aired because they traded that off for the movie and it wasn't worth it. So they tried to write down the rest of the series in comic books, which I appreciate a lot.
They had to cut the show off early because of course they did.
They did it on a cliffhanger too, where Zuko asks. Never mind.
Spoilers.
I'm pretty sure the they actually ended like the show fairly decently.
It was a good ending. People don't like that Aang and Katara ended up together, but it's like they just think that Zuko and Katara look nicer. But Katara is 14, Aang is 12, Zuko 16. It's just kind of all weird. You know?
People on the internet doing shipping.
Yeah, it's the shipping wars again.
It's always weird.
And it seems that we've reached the end of the list as well with this now.
We can do
Yeah.
small
Oh,
talk.
we're not done yet. I'm
We're
gonna
not
talk about
done yet!
There's
Oh.
Elmo still.
There's Elmo still.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I still gotta talk about Elmo. That's okay. But what was it? The problem with the live action movies, they tried to like smush so much story
Also,
into
the CGI
one
was shit.
film. Yeah, but that's obvious. Fucking
And
doing a whole
the
song and dance.
CGI was
Look-
shit. They had to compress it down far too much, and also they took all of the visual flair out of the actual bending. The whole
Yeah.
point of it is each of the different schools of bending is different, and they're all inspired by different martial arts.
No, and
Bending in the
during
universe is
Nickelodeon-
a martial art.
during the time that Avatar: The Last Airbender was actively airing on Nickelodeon, there were little bumpers in between in the commercials where we would see the creator say, "Yeah, this is the guy we used for reference for each different type of bending." Where water bending was Tai Chi, Kung Fu would be for earth bending, air bending was something different. I can't remember. Was it Krav Maga? Something like
I
that.
don't know.
And then traditional karate was for fire bending. Something like that, right? Because they're also different tribes and cultures that are modeled in um,
Airbending is
each nation.
Aguazeng martial art style. It's
Thank you.
similar to Tai Chi, linked to Taoism.
Yes. Much more spiritual.
And one of the moves is just like backspin.
Yeah.
And one of the other themes of it is, if you like look at it, the final like Azula Zuko fight, Zuko uses moves in his firebending based on the other forms of bending.
Which is something that his uncle Iroh taught him after Iroh
Yeah.
went through his whole transformation himself. That we never got to see, but we got to see the final result of it.
Yeah. He or also like an extra bit of reason why the avatars are more powerful. It's not just that they are more powerful; it's that they have the knowledge of all four bending styles, so they can mismatch all the bits together to not just like improve the actual thing, but if you're someone who's used to fighting a firebend and firebenders always move in the same way, and then this random comes in firebending while doing breakdancing backspin, you're like, what the fuck is that? And you don't know how to counter it, because what the hell's going on? It's that extra bit of unpredictability. Plus you also have the fact that all the different architecture of the four different tribes in Avatar are all based on different cultures as well.
Yeah, I was getting to that. The Water Tribe is the Inuit tribe. Was it the Fire Nation is Imperial Japan. The Earth Kingdom is heavily implied to be China, and then the Eric Nomads are Tibetan tribes, if I remember correctly.
You're telling me that the kingdom whose main defense is a great wall is inspired by China.
To be fair, there were also smaller tribes or smaller kingdoms
Bless
like Amashi.
you!
Salut.
True.
But
True, but
the point I'm trying to make,
the point
right?
stands.
yeah. But the point is that a lot of the things that is cut out from live action adaptations of this show are the important bits, and they don't think it's the important bits. Like, they don't, in the movie, they fucking burn. First of all, they call him Ong. His
Bruh.
name is Aang,
Bruh.
right? To dig up an old corpse, that's always fun to beat.
Poor corpse.
You can see people leaving the theater when this film came out. And there was like this rumor going around at the time that the only reason that M. Night Shyamalan made this film is because he wanted Katara costumes to be made because his daughter wanted to be Katara for Halloween.
Oh,
Yeah, I remember
snap.
hearing that one.
Yeah.
But the biggest thing that they cut out is the soul of the story is its setting and it's its characters. Right? They're always going for, oh, it's a wartime movie. It should be as serious as possible. It is serious. But they're also kids. Kids are going to have fun no matter where they are. Right? I see it every day with the students that I work with. Even if we're like talking about something serious or if they're going through some serious stuff at home, they still find a way to have fun. They still have a way to relax, enjoy themselves.
It's like the whole thing is like the oh, this episode's filler, cut it out. No, that's the character development episode.
It's
Yeah,
not
the
filler.
plot doesn't move, but that doesn't mean it's not important.
Not every
It's
single day of your life is going to be fighting something, you know? Sometimes you just need a breather episode. That's called pacing. It's not filler.
yeah, the thing is, Avatar does it better than other shows. Like, for example, for Star Wars, like Clone Wars, is the memes like, oh no, it's the politics episode of the Clone Wars, even though that's a important part of the story that's going on. Yeah, you
Need the
don't have
politics in order to start the wars that you guys want to watch.
you don't have the war crime gang going on and blowing shit up for 20 minutes, sure, but that doesn't mean nothing's going on. Like, seriously, one of the like politicky-ish episodes is the one where Cad Bane breaks into the Senate to make Zero the Hutt out of prison for just randomly butts into Palpatine's plan for no reason, and Anakin has to run around and break shit without his lightsaber. It's somewhat decent episode. Got ones that are like, I want politicky important. Some of them relate to the message of the show. It's like, just because it's a quote unquote filler episode doesn't mean a thing happens. Like, seriously, like go, or even if nothing does happen, doesn't mean it's not a bad episode of the show. Like, one of the things I stand by, one of the things I wish was a thing in Clone Wars is something to the vein of the episode of Avatar: Last Airbender, where it's the stories of Ba Sing Se, where it's short one-off stories of different characters running around in the big city. Like, I wish Star Wars had an episode where it's that, which is random snippets of the different clone characters doing random stupid shit.
Yes, because it gives us a glimpse into what their lives would be like on a regular day to day. Not necessarily during wartime, which they have been for the past 100 years. People are not constantly on the front lines during the war. There are people in those towns who are also doing shit.
Of a character where an episode where they're goofing, like the one I've heard of the episode Dragon Ball where it's Goku driving a car.
Yeah. Fucking even
From
Goku
what I've heard,
doesn't
that's
fight
it.
100% of the time.
It's like the way I heard it described. Yeah, it's filler, but it's the best episode of television ever made. Is how I heard one person describe it.
On the line from this. Oh yes, I did see that on Instagram the other day.
It's just it's that ever. Well, what is it? It's that ever constant like argument between no plot, only lore, and no lore, advance the plot. You have to strike the balance between the two of those. Between how much world building do you do, and how much do you actually move the plot.
And the animation does this fantastically.
Yeah.
Especially in the first episode, we hear this phrase, It's not magic, it's water bending, where they are instantly defining water bending as something completely different than magic. It is not magic, it is something that happens, it comes naturally. It's just an extension of themselves.
It's it's yeah. It's
But
while
anyway,
objectively, from a storytelling, a world building perspective, it is like the world's magic. However, the characters don't think of it as magic. Magic's what the street performer does to make his thumb disappear. Waterbending's a martial art, a traditional art of the people, of the tribe. It's like how it's done well in Avatar. It's like weird things when you try to explain the magic system. Sometimes it works well, a la Avatar. Sometimes it works poorly, a la Metachlorians.
and this goes back to the characters, right? Where for the
Mhm.
characters, like for Sokka and Katara, this isn't a spoiler because it's in the first episode. Katara is the last waterbender in the Southern Water Tribe. She has no one to teach her, and she's very new with her power, right? With her bending. And Sokka does not understand this because by the time they were children, they were also the last waterbender. Or Katara was still the last waterbender. There were no other waterbenders when she was born. They were all taken away during the war. What else is there? So Sokka has
Or
no
that
respect for this martial art that Katara is still trying to learn on her own with no guidance. With so the whole point, like the whole tale for Sokka, right? The whole bleh, the whole show, the whole story is Sokka learning to appreciate his sister as an individual and as a fighter, and appreciate bending for what it is.
and they also go through the effort of with him also demonstrating that yeah, we have the world where we've got the not wizards running around with their elemental powers, but man with sword is still a very capable force in a fight.
Especially because his sword is pretty sick.
Like yeah, he doesn't have the magic power, but he's still really good in a fight.
He's good in a fight and he's important. Just because he's
Yeah.
not just because he doesn't have the bending, right? The magic, quote unquote, does not mean he's not integral to the group. It does not mean he is a
Yeah.
burden. It does not mean he has not earned a spot as a main
Yeah.
character just because he's
Uh,
somebody's brother.
and it also makes sure. Well, yeah, he's kind of does the comic relief role a bit. He's not just the comic relief character.
Although he is very
Actual
good at
important
what he does.
character. Yeah. Yeah.
And the things that
It's kind of like another analogy would be like bringing back to Star Wars clones. Like, yeah, like you've got Captain Rex and the clones, where they're like important characters who are entirely capable of doing really badass things on their own, supporting even though Anakin Skywalker's there. Like they're entirely capable of being badasses in and of themselves. I mean, hell, there's an episode of the Clone Wars where General Grievous gets bodied by the Gungans. Granted, that's just because the 2007 Clone Wars has no respect for General Grievous, but it's also because General Grievous is cocky as all hell because it's the Gungans, and then he gets his shit rocked. It's hilarious.
I
And
think
then you've got
the biggest
some of the
flaw
other good bits of that is when just random shit butts into the plot out of nowhere, and it's some of the best shit ever. Like Hondo Onaka the pirate is one of the best characters from Clone Wars. And it nearly messes up Darth Sidious the Sith's thousand millennia plan. Nearly mucks it up by capturing Count Dooku
is
and trying to play both sides to ransom them off for drugs.
But yeah,
It's the
the biggest
plot of an
disrespect
episode. It's the plot of then it comes back up in a later episode as well. It's hilarious.
Bruh.
One of the best characters in the franchise.
But yeah, back to finish off Avatar, the biggest disrespect that studios tend to have for this show is that they don't understand the show. They don't understand
Yeah.
the characters. They don't understand why things are built the way they are. They don't understand that exploring the world is just as important as the characters. They don't
Yeah.
understand, especially like back to him, like Shyamalan. He rushed to get to the end of the Northern Water Tribe story so that they could have a sequel, and that could be the Earth Kingdom book. But that's even longer than the first one. So world building meant nothing to him. The growth of Aang trying to rush into firebending because he found the fire teacher first instead of respecting what is supposed to be like the chart of the to-do list, so to speak, and his growth to be more patient and accepting who he was as the Avatar when he didn't want to be. It's there's way too much, right? There's way too much to explain in a couple seconds. But the shows do not respect the original material
Animation.
as it. Yeah, it's a kid show. We can leave all this stuff out. No, you can't. That's who they are.
It's kind of to analogize something other than Star Wars. It's like how, like for Harry Potter, one of the favorite things people have with it is talking about the world and the world building of the setting, or Tolkien's works, the Lord of the Ring and the Hobbit and all that. How the world building, J.R.R. Tolkien with Lord of the Rings literally defined fantasy as a genre because he built the world to such an extent, but still also had the plot and whatever.
It built
It's
a
the world
language for
building
fun
is important.
for his
Yeah,
book.
yeah. He it's not, and the thing is part of the reason the Lord of the Rings movies are so good is because they respect that part of it. Like there's a scene in the movie where it's like one of the like elf characters dies or has a final stand death scene or whatever, and then they have the song or whatever. That's literally they have the people singing in the made up fantasy language that is Elvish.
Even the minions have better respect for that than Atla was given in the original. The
Yeah,
minions have their
it's
own
it.
language that they speak. Like
Huh?
the animators legitimately made a language for them.
Yeah, the minions from Despicable Me. Yeah,
Oh,
the I assume that's what you mean, Mina.
Yes, they have a language.
Yeah,
I.
it's when that level of care gets put into it. I'm that's great. Or but then also have things where it's like the we kind of transition to talking about a different piece of media that I saw some talking about is like and they have these brilliant shows or whatever, and then you just have that one bit of it or whatever, where it's like very clearly it happens because the plot has to happen. Where it's just something where the writers very clearly wrote themselves into a corner and then couldn't think of a good way to write themselves out of that corner. That results in just that one scene in the show where everyone's like, ugh. Do you have the kind of thing I'm talking about in your mind?
Yeah, I know what you mean. Like
The specific example I saw brought up was 2007, 2003 version of Battlestar Galactica. One of the story beats that they carried over from the original is the appearance of a second Battlestar Pegasus. Because the whole plot of the movie is the whole plot of the series is silent war, blah blah blah. Humans get memed on or striked, and they have to run away to find a new place to live. And the civilian fleet is protected by the titular Battlestar Galactica. It's the last surviving Battlestar, whatever. And they find another one, and in the remake, it's the Battlestar. They're bringing the Battlestar Pegasus, which is just explicitly stated to be the Battlestar Galactica, but better in every way. It is just better, and they basically write themselves into a corner with it, and they end up writing out of the show with it basically getting destroyed in the dumbest way possible. That just doesn't make any sense because the problem with it was just too good. Basically, the only way they could have gotten around it without just getting rid of it was basically to just exponentially increase the threat level, which is just bad writing. Uh, the And the thing is, I've seen people talk about how to make it better, as well. And it's like basically just running, basically add more to the world building to make it better, kind of thing. Where it's like the whole point of how the humans got absolutely memed is basically the Cylons basically put a virus into the command protocols, whatever, and basically hacked and shut down the entire human fleet. Is how it happened. Galactica was fine because it was so old it didn't have this command protocol in it. In fact, the part of the plot is literally that about to be decommissioned to be made a museum kind of thing.
Oh.
Which honestly, and then you have the Pegasus, which is literally like top of the line new shit, which escaped because it was powered down because it had gone into a shipyard. And escapes. And it's like they could have made a thing where it's like it has problems with it didn't quite manage to fully purge the command protocol or something. Or it has problems with it's got all the modern state-of-the-art things or whatever, but they're very finicky. It haven't quite all finished being worked out. So you run into the debate of the old reliable or the newfangled, but it could fail on you at literally any time. When they have to decide basically which one of them do they just throw away, bringing that debate. Or just make it so when Pegasus shows up, because it got ambushed in the dry dock, have it be visibly damaged, like horribly beat up. So it's not just automatically better. Because the thing is, they show the scene of it escaping the dry dock, and it just face tanks the nuke, and it's fine afterwards. No, have it be damaged, have it have problems, so it's not just better. It's just bad writing from that part of it, which just sucks, because so much of the rest of the show is well written. Especially when it comes to the titular Battlestar Galactica, which is a character unto itself.
I assume Battlestar Galactica is the 2004 series? Or is it an older one?
I'm talking about the 2003 version, I think is when it... The 2003, 2004
okay, yeah.
is when the new one came out. And there was an original one in like the 70s or 80s or something.
Yeah, okay, this is... Yeah.
Which, the other thing they do is they have some very... Yeah. Some very creative stuff with it as well, with some of the ways they use some of their resources and whatever. Like there's an entire like scene where they've got the huge ridiculous plan or whatever. It consists of basically they fly in like their shuttles or whatever, have them launch decoy missiles that basically simulate the target signature of the Battlestar and then leave. So the Cylons jump to the Battlestar, like, wait, they're not here. Where the hell are they? Jump cut to the place the Cylons just came from, and the Galactica warps in. And the thing they do with it is not like it warps in above the planet. It warps in, because the way the FTL systems is they just teleport. They teleport it in the upper atmosphere, and then drop like a rock, launch all their fighters, and then teleport again back up in orbit. It's the most badass looking scene ever, because it's not... They animated it so well. Because you've got the flames burning up on re-entry or whatever, but then when it teleports out, you see then the flames kind of go into the void left by the ship teleporting away. It's so well done. And it's just one of those brilliant things of they use the more advanced tools for deception or whatever. It's great, because that's one of those things you never see in, like, sci-fi is like, ooh, we're using things for deception. We've got the dedicated recon craft doing scouting. We got, like, Galactica's got, like, that's why Galactica's got, like, they've got the electronic warfare actually is, like, a thing. Yeah. They actually use things more than, sail next to each other, just broadside each other. Star Wars. Star Wars, as brilliant as it is, you have to admit, the space battles are really just Napoleonic era broadsiding each other, is really all it is. It's not it's the ships fight like it's Napoleonic Wars, and the fighters fight like it's World War II. It's most inspired space combat, but you know what? It's a great visual spectacle, even if sometimes they really overdo it and it's just soup. Rise of Skywalker. That's the other thing Battlestar Galactica is brought up for, is very well written space battles. Because there's like a whole thing of how to write a good space. And, yeah. The thing is, Star Wars a lot of the time has the problem of falling too much in the camp of bigger is better. Having more visual soup on screen does not mean the battle is better. One of the reasons the Battle of Scarif is such a good space battle for Star Wars is you understand what's going on very easily because there's so few ships involved. You've got a big rebel flagship, some of its escorts, and the 2 Star Destroyers, and they just go at it. And you understand what's going on. Even if you haven't had as much time as Galactica has to introduce, you know the ships, you know the different ships' capabilities, their strengths, their weaknesses, what's going on. You know all the characters involved who've had seasons of character development, all that stuff. And plus, Star Wars also has a... Yeah. The other thing 2003 Galactica has going for it as well, that's very good, is one of those rare sci-fis where shields don't exist. There are no shields. The Battlestar Galactica has just multiple meter-thick slabs of armor, and that's its protection. And a bajillion flat guns. That's its protection. So you've got scenes where... The other thing with it, that you've got scenes where, like, you've got your 2 or 3 ships maneuvering around each other, firing on each other. You've got the fighters, you know the fighter pilots. There's one... It's not just the fighters are fighting the other fighters, but then they've also got... One of the specific things that they do in it is... The fighters are part of your point defense grid. They go out and they intercept incoming missiles. There's like an entire scene in one of the battles where the fighters are flying around, protecting the civilian ships from a missile barrage. And you've also got a scene in it where the Galactica intentionally basically goes, "Get down, Mr. President, because we've got multiple meter-thick slabs of armor. We can take the hits. All those civilian transports full of the civilians behind us can't. So we need to physically put ourselves in the way, even though we can't repair the damage we take. But we can take it." It's those bits of, like, the good writing or whatever that's... And it also, because there's no shields, you have the understanding of the people inside the big metal box have a sense of danger, which is something Star Trek has always struggled with. Because Star Trek is very much one of those shows, franchise that suffers from when it originally comes from, because it's not like in the original series Star Trek, if the Enterprise is under fire, you can't just take a lighter to the like several $100 model of the Enterprise to show battle damage. You can't do that. So that's why they have the shields, and they just shake the set, have panels explode, and have someone shout shield percentages. And it's Star Trek is so beholden to shield percentages. In like one of the Star Trek shows where they don't have shield technology, they invent some system so they can still have people shout percentages. Like, bruh. It's a full CGI show! You can show battle damage! Actually show battle damage, people! Plus, when you actually show battle damage on the models of the ship, it looks cool as hell!
You're actually doing something.
Yeah, you can actually see, oh my god, the ship is just covered in stuff. Another thing that's like Star Trek and Star Wars suffer from is the kind of the detail on the ships. Because one of the things I like about Battleship Yamato, that series, is the level of detail on the model of the titular ship is sufficient. You can see all the different weapon systems. You can see what they're doing, and when the ship takes damage, you can see like some of them aren't there anymore until they reappear in the next episode. But you know, that's another thing with some of these series is like, oh no, the ship's taking damage. Don't worry, despite being completely out of the ability to get resupply and repair, everything will be magically repaired at the start of next episode.
Because magic.
Continuity. Who is she?
Yeah. It's like Star Trek Voyager, and it's like we have a limited number of torpedoes, but then They don't.
All right. So yeah, to wrap up,
There's my sci-fi rant.
yes,
To wrap
Writing can
out
be good.
the
You can make. Yeah.
to round out the Avatar thing, don't make it Game of
Back
Thrones
to the
like.
point.
That's not why people liked it.
Yeah.
People liked it because they were just because we were kids, but also it was a well-told story with a well-told world. Play with that world. There's so
With
much left
well-developed characters. Yeah.
with well-developed characters, with traits that we
Yeah.
recognize and actively try to emulate to this day. I do not know a person who watched Avatar who does not wish they were more like Uncle Iroh, but saw themselves in Toph.
Yeah.
Just to be
The characters, they have characters who have character flaws, and then any of the worst character flaws are gotten over as character development. It's not just
they
static
grow.
characters. Is the other part of it. Yeah.
And these kids are growing over the course of 3 seasons because they're in the middle of a war. Because realistically, that's growing up really fast.
Yeah.
But we understand it.
It's. And you have the Uncle Iroh character, who's the character who's previously gone through the character development, so we see the end of the character development. Which is a
Yeah.
character who can be really hard to write. The character who's already had all their character development is a character that can be really difficult to do well.
And
Like,
they nailed it.
Yeah, like this is such a out there example, but I saw a video of someone talking about this. The original Thomas the Tank Engine. The original like model series Thomas the Tank Engine. The number 2 engine is the older wise character who's gone through all their character development. And there's basically no stories with the character because the writers for the show, after they got through like the 1 or 2 like original stories from the books where the character was in, they couldn't think of a good way to use the character. So he was like the first of the original cast written out of the show when they started writing characters out of the show.
Yeah, and
'Cause
it's
they just
Edward. Why
couldn't
wouldn't
think
they
of a
use
good way to
Edward?
use him due to the structure of the show. The thing is, a lot of the old Thomas the Tank Engine episodes, character has some character flaw or whatever, or they've got something where they're being annoying. Character does something and gets taught a lesson, and then they change the character, revert to status quo at start of next episode. Sometimes they actually have character development, sometimes they don't. But it's like, if you have the character who's already had all that character development done on them, you can't do that kind of thing where they can't grow as a character anymore. And so they can be hard to write well. And be anything other than the character's like, oh, you shouldn't do that. Trust me on this. But that's the way they do Iroh well. He doesn't just do, you should do this, trust me on this. He actually like explains the things and does the legitimate philosophical discussions and whatever.
And then we see that he's had to make said decisions before. We see the decisions he's
Yeah.
made before.
Then
he
he's
took over
also
Boston.
then juxtaposed with him being goofy.
Yeah. It's just a
Like
good
where he's
show.
got
and
the
Jimmy
scene
as
where
well.
who would have thought I would have returned to the place of my greatest military defeat as a tourist?
Yeah. Or as a refugee.
Well, he says as a tourist, but
Is it as a tourist? Dang.
he says as a tourist, yeah.
Ah, okay.
Or then you have the other part of the philosophy that someone pointed out is his obsession with tea, because tea is a mixture of all 4 elements.
It's
Properly
just a
make
good
tea.
show.
Huh.
Yeah, it's such a well-written show. Yeah, or then you have like he's able to joke like the sea of the stomach is the sea of chi, except for me, it's more of a vast ocean.
And he does the tummy jiggle.
Yeah, he can juxtapose being really serious, being haha goofy, and that's part of the reason he's such a lovable character.
And then there's the Tales of Ba Sing Se.
There was no war in Bang Sing Se.
No. Where there's no. There's
Oh, that's
no,
a different episode.
There's a different episode, but
It's the only meme it's the only meme I know. I'm sorry.
it's okay. It's okay. is just like in the Tales of Ba Sing Se is the most memorable episode. Not because we see what different characters would do in their free time, right? So like Katara and Toph go to a spa day. Aang sets his animals free and he builds a new zoo just outside of the city. Um, Sokka
Make them
has a
happy, yeah.
haiku off with some prissy ladies. Zuko goes on a date, I think. He goes on the date, right?
I don't
We
know if
even
it's
see
that
like
episode.
Zuko
But he
does
does do that in
something.
one of the episodes.
Yeah, sometime in the Earth Kingdom he does that. And Appa and Momo do their own shit too. But the
You got the
part of the
island where he's
episode,
wandering around doing his
the
philosophy to the
part
random
of
people.
but I'm getting there.
Yep.
When we get to Uncle Iroh's episode, and we see that he is so exceptionally kind to the people around him. He knows things, right? He's so incredibly wise because he was helping this bandit realize that
Yeah,
I don't want to be a bandit anymore because
man tries to mug Uncle Iroh, and he's like, with that
absolutely not.
stance, then
Because
just
the man
pushes him over,
never wanted to
and
be
then
a
sits him
because the
down and
bandit
has
never
tea with
wanted to
him.
be a bandit. He wants to do something else with his life. But because he's so unsteady on his feet, it actually shows in his form, and Uncle Iroh is able to recognize that. Iroh knows that this specific flower in this shop isn't blooming because it's meant to be in the shade instead of direct sunlight. Uh, he sings this song to this little boy, "Leaves on the vine," because the boy is crying, and he calms him down immediately. And the entire time, Iroh is doing his shopping, and the gut punch is that the song that he sang is one he used to sing to his son, who unfortunately he lost in the war during his greatest defeat in Ba Sing Se. And that day just happens to be his son's birthday. And the scene of him lighting the incense to remember his son makes me want to cry even as I'm talking about it right now.
I can hear the inflection in your voice.
It is
I can tell
also
too.
a tribute episode because that was the year that we lost Mako, who was the voice of Uncle Iroh. And that episode was dedicated to him in his memory.
Oh.
My
It is
God.
such a good show with so much heart and love put into it, and the fact that live action is just not going to be able to cut that. Animation has this way of showing emotion. It's like with the Ghibli hair, right? When a character gets mad in a Studio Ghibli movie, or if their magic is about to start and their hair starts frilling up, that is something that you won't replicate in real life because it looks stupid, but it fits so well in the world that they've drawn, right?
Yeah.
But
There are characters. It's kind of like how when they did the live action Aladdin, the genie just didn't work as well because of the way stuff they could do with the animation that just stands for a live action character. Like how like the genie would like take himself apart and toss bits of him around and then put himself back together, kind of thing.
uncanny with a human being, it looks weird on Will Smith. But with animation, it just fits because that's just the world they're in. You can suspend your disbelief long enough to understand it when it's animation.
Or like when he shapeshifts into like the sheep for the "you're a bad boy" pun. I don't. That wouldn't work for nearly as well if it's just Will Smith's face on a sheep.
It would not work.
I
It
don't
would
know if they
not
even did that
work
because I haven't watched
when
the
the
live
genie
action one.
in Prince Ali, in that musical number, the genie has a part where he transforms into different people of the crowd, like a child, a person, even
He
one
goes
of
popping
the
around the crowd. Yeah.
even as a concubine, and he managed to hide well. You can't do that with Will Smith.
They don't even. I have actually watched that scene, and he doesn't even try. He just stays at the front of the thing, so it's a much less playful bit of the song. It just makes it come off.
It's
The one
less
thing I will
witty.
say though, yeah, it's less. The one thing I will say though, because I have that is one of the scenes I have watched. One of the things I do like about that version of the scene, There's two main things they changed with it. One is Aladdin in that scene in the live action one. It's very clearly nervous as all hell. He's like, uh, uh, uh. He's like, just like the awkward smile and wave bit.
Even in
Which is
animation, Aladdin is like killing it because he can fake it
in animation,
long enough.
he's killing it. That and they just do so many more ridiculous things in that scene. Like in the animated versions,
They are
you
quite
get the
literally.
feeling that the strong as 10 regular men bit of the song. You
Yeah.
get the feeling Genie kind of improv that when the people fell on any magics to make Aladdin pick them all up. No, he just the Genie just like strikes the buff man pose when he sings that bit in the live action one's bad. The other part of it that they did in that scene that I did like is they changed one of the lines because from basically the equivalent of the Sunday best, they changed the word from Sunday to Monday because that's the correct holy day for Islam, which is
Which is nice.
it's set in that part of the world. So that's one of
Which is
those.
nice.
That's one of those nice changes. Yeah.
Yeah.
It,
But
it's
my professor was Alex Topeta. He worked on Aladdin. He worked for animation for the guards. Hated the movie.
Yeah.
Because there's so much heart. There's so much. It's not that animation takes longer than acting. Honestly, both are very respected mediums. There's so many.
they're two
different ways-
very different forms of performance.
They're two different forms of performance because animators are actors. They're just drawing out the emotions instead of putting it on their face. But there's so many different emotions that are lost. There's so many different magical elements that are lost with live action. I know CGI is getting better and better every day, but sometimes
Oh,
they just don't capture the right vibe that you're going for.
magic works much better in animation, I find.
What's that?
It's yeah. Magic just doesn't work very well with CGI live action. It works so much better animation. There's the two different mediums of two different types of visual medium that are good at different
Right.
things. They shouldn't be used interchangeably. It's why I stand by if they want to do something quote unquote live action of the remakes, Disney, you own the Muppets. Give us Muppet version remakes of some of your classics. That would be brilliant.
That
And
absolutely would be brilliant.
Yeah. Like Beauty and the Beast, and the only like human character is the Beast, and then at the end of the movie, when the curse wears off, he turns
I'm
back into a Muppet.
Muppet.
Yeah. Well, plus a lot of the Disney aren't very good. Like, from what I said, the Aladdin one was like probably one of the best, like an actual remake.
One of the
Maleficent
less
movie
egregious
is
ones.
the best, but that's because it wasn't just a remake. They completely it's a completely different movie based on the same source material.
Which one?
So it's not just a remake. It's a completely different movie. So that
No, which
Maleficent's
movie?
good.
Oh, Maleficent.
Maleficent.
Yeah. Maleficent is fantastic because it's not the regular story we knew. It's a different angle.
It's a
right?
completely different story.
What's the name of that story? What's the name of that story where they talk from the Jabberwockies' perspective? Was it Beowulf? I don't remember.
I don't know.
I don't know. But there's another story like that. Not a different one, but yeah. Anyway, on to Muppets, since we were talking about that.
Elmo.
Elmo.
What happened to poor
Mid-
Elmo?
So, on
Oh no.
Twitter, Elmo Elmo has a
Has a
Twitter.
Twitter,
first of
okay.
all. Go follow. Elmo has a Twitter, and he made the mistake of saying, "Hey, just checking in with everybody. How are you doing?" And the internet saw free therapy, and they just trauma dumped all over this child.
Poor Elmo.
Oh no.
Hold on, let me see if I can. I'm gonna pull up the Twitter.
It's just trauma dumped on Elmo. Okay.
Yeah, they trauma dumped on Elmo. Okay. Oh my god, that's cute actually. April 20th, 2023, pinned.
Oh wow, it was
But
last
don't worry,
year.
everybody. Elmo is still Elmo.
Oh, they're not paying for Twitter Blue based.
Let me see if I'm trying to find. No, I can't find it. Where is it? Elmo's birthday was yesterday. Damn it.
Maybe they deleted the original tweet.
No. I'm gonna find it.
You heard her, chat. She's gonna find it.
I will find it.
I'm gonna do something off.
Oh,
I'm gonna
that's-
open my news app.
By the way, fun fact: we are 2 hours and 40. I think we've been talking about Avatar and sci-fi for like the last 40 minutes.
Yep.
Wow. You guys really go off when you're what's it called?
Yeah.
When you're passionate about something. Holy.
Okay. I can't find the original tweet. So I'm very upset. Give me one second. Let me see if it's in the replies.
Politics. Okay. Bird strike.
Huh?
Global events.
All right.
Politics.
Welcome back, Bolt.
So did the Elmo thing come by? Because I had to do something for a moment.
We just came into
At
the
this
Elmo thing.
Let me
Yes,
see.
so we're talking about Elmo now. So the original tweet is deleted, but Elmo asked, "How is everybody doing today?" And people went off telling him, "Elmo, she took the kids," all that kind of shit. Other companies were going into this. Hold on, let me see. Elmo trauma dump.
Oh my god. I can't believe it's just people are wild.
Elmo takes a turn as a therapist after asking, "How is everybody doing?" January 31st, 2024. So this was on the 30th. Elmo's just checking in. How's everybody doing? January 29th. Responses to Elmo on Friday and Monday differ wildly. One popular reply was, "Just on my way to buy some balsamic vinegar." And Elmo responded, "Elmo hopes it's yummy." "I'm doing okay. I hope you are too." "Elmo loves you." But then on Monday, they went, "Not well, Elmo. They don't raise the rent, and everything is at this point." "Not well, Elmo. They don't raise the rent, and everything at this point. I'm coming to live with you on Sesame Street." "Elmo would love that.
What?
Hashtag neighbors." "Elmo, I'm having a rough time. Love you though." "Elmo hopes you're doing okay. Elmo loves you today and every day."
Do you have a news site for this?
Yes, I'm looking at the news site right now because the original tweet is gone.
I am in awe and shock.
Oh my god. No, hold on. Oh my, no, I'm in awe and in shock right now. I made the mistake of scrolling my news app. Obviously, most is like politics, but this one. I mean, I assume
Oh, I found
Mina's
the tweet.
familiar
I found
with
the
who
tweet.
this is.
He did not delete it. I just didn't scroll down enough. Okay, go.
Alright, finish with Elmo.
Okay. Oh, I see that. He's gonna have to arrest me. Let's see. Elmo's just checking in. How's everybody doing? And it has 207.7 million views. Somebody said, "Elmo, we are tired." "I did not have all of us trauma dumping on Elmo on my bingo card. Where do we begin, Elemontre?" Elmo's full name is Elemontre?
Is that I don't know.
The
I'm not up
world
to
is
date on
turning
the
around
Elmo
this
lore, I
Elmo.
guess. true, it is.
Among Us, the official Among Us web Twitter account said suffering.
Yeah.
Yeah, seems about right.
Somebody responded with Elmo's social media manager reading all the responses. Hold on, I'm gonna share screen so you guys can see this shit. Oh my god.
I gotta see
This is a short one. I'm
Elmo's
gonna
poor.
quickly interject.
Go ahead.
Oh, I'm scrolling my news app, and I just come across this one. Former Fox News host Tucker Carlson was reportedly spotted in Moscow over the weekend. A fucking... And it's like leading to fans to speculate his plans on interviewing Russian President Vladimir Putin. Why?
That.
Well, I know why, because and simps for Putin apparently, but you know what? Still cringe.
Love
Mina,
is love, I guess. What's up?
This is the man who got kicked off Fox News.
Yep. Just checking. How's everybody doing? Elmo, we are tired.
we are tired.
Elmo reading the replies. I do not have all of us dumping on Elmo on my bingo card.
I don't think anyone would.
Where do we beginning, Elementary? I'm at my lowest. Thanks for asking. The world is burning around us, Elmo.
Hold
We
on,
started this year.
Mina.
Yeah.
This is a hilarious one. So this is a vaguely political one from something we talked about previously, but South Dakota indigenous tribe bans the governor from their reservation over U.S.-Mexico border remarks.
We should. Good.
Among Us is suffering.
That's
Among
hilarious.
Us replied to Elmo, suffer. Wife left me. Daughters don't respect me. My job is a joke. Any more questions, Elmo? Jesus, man. Thank you, 7-Eleven truther. Well, 2024 feels like 2020 plus 4, so... It's been a tough time since we left the street and entered the workforce, Elmo. The Lions and the Ravens lost, so not great. Buffalo Wild Wings said brutal. We've got BOGO Wings deals every Tuesday and Thursday, so... Other companies are using Elmo to fucking market to people.
As anyone checked in on you, Elmo? How are you, pal?
The Suicide and Crisis Lifeline responded, "Hey Elmo, we're here for anyone struggling with difficult emotions. No matter what someone may be going through, the 988 Lifeline is here to help."
You know what? Reasonable for them to show up. Alright. Also, I found another hilarious thing about the whole Texas shit. Someone's gone and estimated how much, specifically their busing migrants around has cost them, and it's $124 million.
Hold on, Mina, scroll up a little bit.
I'm checking it.
Dear Emil, it was kind of you to check in on friends this week. I have been busy making a lot of marmalade. It's Paddington.
Kind of you to check in on all your friends this week. I've been busy making a lot of marmalade. How are you doing? Thank you, Paddington. I love Paddington.
Paddington's
He
cool.
says, being libertarian.
Oscar
Oscar was right.
Apple
Get out of here,
It
this
is
Get out of
safe.
here, it isn't safe.
Run!
Sour Patch Kids Twitter said, "Do you want my real answer, Elmo?"
Oreo cookie ran out of milk to the math. My
Thank
God.
you, Oreos. Elmo, I just got laid off.
Elmo, I'm suffering from existential dread over here.
We're okay, but why'd you go and make the streets look fun and inspiring? The world don't like us, Elmo. Garfield movie said, "Well, it's Monday."
The greatest game of the universe is supposed to be the bling.
Elmo,
Elmo,
I'm
I'm
depressed
depressed and
and
broke. Mina, quick question.
Ritz Cracker said, hold on, sorry. Ritz Cracker said, "Maybe it's best you save this question for a different time."
Um, poor Elmo, bro. He don't deserve this. My man didn't deserve this trauma.
Everything is fine.
Well, it's the 800th day of January. Thank you, Jimmy John's, the sandwich place. Chance the Rapper says he's in a really good place, though, so that's nice.
Not good, Elmo. Not good.
Elmo gonna be rich when he gets his ad revenue on Friday.
If my daughter knew I was talking to Elmo right now, she'd be so excited.
Cute.
Frank
Chipotle
already,
said they're
what's
creating a
Elmo's
burrito.
Chipotle order? The world is burning, Elmo. Not a lot of tickles can fix this.
Elmo sold me fentanyl behind Target.
What the fuck?
I like how Chipotle though. Chipotle, hold on. Chipotle is just the most blatant corporate market. Not even trying.
Yeah,
They're
like
not even
fucking
trying.
Jimmy
Cringe.
John's was great. I think we all died in 2020.
True.
True,
It's a
though.
big look.
The
It's still
Sims.
fucking January.
The Sims said, somewhere in between a red and green plum bob today. Thanks for asking, Elmo.
Too much depressive, not enough manic. The
What
value-
is Elmo's opinion on late-term abortion?
Why?
I don't know. Elmo's fine. Leave him alone. Elmo, my man, have you been to the grocery store lately? I don't know if you drive, but you filled up a gas tank? Stop gaslighting us. You know it's real out here.
Oh, it's the parody.
Oh my god, no! No, it's a. Oh no, wait, hold on. That's a parody, Elon
Yeah.
Musk. Okay.
Dunkin' Donuts said, I could honestly use an iced coffee. And honestly, same.
Not me. No, it's okay when you did bird, bro.
Poke Jungle, which is Pokemon game and merch news, says, why does Pikachu never check in on us? Somebody did the SpongeBob copy pasta. I was born with glass bones and paper skin. Every morning I break my legs, and every afternoon I break my arms. At night I lie awake in agony until my heart attacks put me to sleep. Oh no, Domino's!
Specifically, Domino's Pizza UK.
Domino's Pizza UK.
I love this person that just fell face first into the pizza pile.
Just face first, ass up.
I say the pizza.
The IRS responded, thanks for asking, Elmo. The hashtag IRS is ready for the tax season, and we're working on 20 days for taxpayers with expanded help, including more in-person hours, better service, and improved tools. We're ready to help hashtag help Big Bird and hashtag help each other. From IRS News, happy birthday.
Shut up, IRS. You're not real. Elmo, thanks for checking in. The world
Yeah,
needs
the
more
UN.
kindness. You're always welcome.
You're
in our
always
press
welcome in
briefing
our
room.
press briefing room. Thank you, United Nations. The Shake Shack said some of these replies could benefit from a sweet treat.
You guys can continue doing that. I'm gonna go downstairs really quickly.
Go ahead. Oh, baby. This person says, my
Oh,
dog
dog.
passed 3 weeks ago, and my fiance and I are still grieving. Prayers would be appreciated. All the best to you, Amazing Game Productions. I'm so sorry for your loss. I know that how much that'll hurt. Subway said, how much time do you have?
Yep.
Yup. We're laughing at Elmo's Twitter right now. We're laughing at Elmo's
Google
Twitter right now.
Play, much better now.
Thank you. Help us, Elmo.
Good, Elmo, not good.
Elmo, social media manager, after reading all them quote tweets. Everyone in the comments. Baskin Robbins said, can't explain it, but 31 days has felt like forever.
Yeah.
Firefox said, we're just out here, just browsing. Elmo, do you even have a
Great day.
mortgage?
Great day in Florida.
Sony
Turtles.
Pictures says feeling 100.
Because they have money.
9gag? 9gag responded to this? Dr. Phil!
Dr. Phil!
We got issues.
Enter the sides.
Cheers for the win,
sides.
baby.
Elmo, we're not okay.
Let's see, is there any other... Popeyes, not great. People are
Popeyes.
forgetting they can pre-order wings before the big game.
That's a cringe one.
Mm. Thanks for
Neither
stopping
one
by,
said-
bud. Planet
Yeah.
Fitness. Out here being judgment-free like we're supposed to be. Thank you, Cameo. The police. Sanford police said, we're doing our best, Elmo, but there are quite a lot of stupid people in the world, and having to deal with them is quite difficult.
Yeah.
So
now you're posting
true.
pictures.
Palms are sweaty, knees weak, arms are heavy, mom's spaghetti. Adobe Photoshop
Adobe
says, we're hanging
Photoshop.
on. What the fuck is that? Biblically accurate, Elmo. And Children's Hospital Association. Oh, they're just saying thank you to Elmo. Oh, no. Yeah, no, it's just people being sad.
Dumpster fire. Coffee. Coffee.
No, read what's in the coffee.
Oh. Yeah. Yeah. Dolphins are giving me anxiety, Elmo.
This person.
There's no problems in Bossing Say!
That's not full circle.
Terrible.
Oh my god, I just realized. No, I just realized Jimmy doesn't have the stream up. He doesn't have your
He does
stream
not.
over the
He does
Discord. They
not
can't
share
see.
my streams. Nobody can see what we're reading.
Sad.
That's why I'm reading them out loud.
That should go to images.
Oh, yep, they grab your gear. We're at war, Elmo. Republicans take credit for stuff they voted against. Yeah, they do that.
They do that.
I seriously, it just went full circle with that.
Hurry. Alright.
I don't know.
Up.
Oh no.
up.
Oh no.
What are you doing?
Anyway, so that's how that's been going. Elmo got trauma dumped. He's a 4-year-old.
He's canonically 4. What?
Canonically,
He was older
he's
than
about
that.
4 years old.
Man.
So shortly after that, right? Elmo puts this tweet that says, "Wow, Elmo's so glad he asked. Elmo learned that it is important to ask a friend how they're doing. Elmo will check in again soon, friends. Elmo loves you. Hashtag emotional well-being." Big Bird is big again. Apparently there's this whole thing where Big Bird turned tiny.
He was just Bird?
He was just Bird for a little bit. So yeah, and then he goes
He's a
back to his
cookie
usual
puff.
Elmo self. A lot of friends have been asking, and yes, Elmo's doing great. Today is Elmo's birthday. Yeah, baby. Thank you for checking in. Now let's have a party. Hashtag happy birthday, Elmo. So yeah, that's how that went. But then immediately following this, and I believe it was on his birthday, Elmo got the fucking choked out by this guy, Larry David.
And he was attacked by Larry David in front of his... what? Huh?
I'm trying to find it. President Biden tweeted, "Optimism is up." And then this person quote retweets and says, "I don't know, I just saw thousands of people tell Elmo they wanted to kill themselves."
economy's doing well,
But yeah,
at least.
Elmo and his uncle went on to the Day Show. And Larry Davis is right there. And he's fucking furious that this motherfucker choked him out on live TV. So he got trauma dumped all over and then he got choked out. So, it's not been a good couple of days for him.
I want to commit unspeakable crimes. Come on,
Has
Kermit the
anybody seen a
Frog.
rock eat a
Kermit
cookie?
the Frog.
I need to see this reply.
We need to see this.
I think I've seen
Has
that
anybody
one.
seen a rock eat a cookie? I was just curious. Yes, my friend.
Dwayne
this rock
Johnson.
devours cookies. Dwayne the Rock Johnson replies, yes, my friend. This rock devours cookies. All kinds of cookies. I'll introduce you to the hashtag cheat meals and it'll change your life. Tell Cookie Monster to move it over because I'm coming to Sesame Street to kick his ass and eat cookies. And I'm almost all out of cookies. To which Cookie Monster responded, me say cookie challenge accepted.
Oreo cookie, hello friend.
Oreo cookies then is offering, and Chips Ahoy is offering the cookies for this cookie off.
What I think is one of my favorite bits of Sesame Street lore. Cookie Monster has a British cousin named,
Yeah,
named
and
Biscuit
then
Monster.
Big Bird has a cousin in Spanish-speaking countries called Alebardo.
Is that just Spanish for Big Bird?
No, it's kind of like Albert.
Oh. What else can we do? You know what? I know Jim next week, but we need have time to fill. That's a thing. Oh.
Oh my god,
Did we do
I
that?
love these tweets to Elmo. I might have to dip here actually, because I gotta go eat food so that I'm ready for D&D.
Yeah, I need to eat food too, probably. We don't want to
Yeah,
just
I have
leave
something
it with like
on my
nothing
head,
going
but-
on. So like,
We do not. So we're just gonna have to keep talking for a minute. But I will give this update. Today, since we're having D&D, I'm gonna put that as long as I possibly can. But next week, I will not be here at all. So
Yeah.
Valentine's Day is coming up, and my partner, my lovely, wonderful partner, who I love with all of my heart, is taking me out on a trip for the weekend.
actually, there is something. There is something I could talk about to full time. I want to talk more about what you're going to be doing, Mina, or
No, I have no idea what we're doing. I just know he's taking me somewhere.
so. As you may or may not know, my university is in the state of Utah. Now,
Right.
Utah is one of the many U.S. states who is firmly in control of Team Red. Now, they're relatively tame as Team Red goes. There were no Texas or Florida. However, they did go and join Team Cringe when it comes to the trans bathroom bills. And that's a big. That was a thing. Like the legislature passed it. The university they had like a rally on the university. I showed up to it and make the crowd bigger. Stood around, and talked with some people. Mainly just taking the point to go like, the one thing I've noticed is a lot of people on that side of the aisle really like when people on the other side of the aisle get really pissy at them, like Cope C the bald levels of Lamau, you're angry at me, good. So no, the real way to get people like that to not do something fucking stupid is to make them look
So-
like absolute idiots. Welcome back, Jimmy.
Oh, I can't hear you.
So the thing I was bringing
gonna
up
do-
related to it is what this shows is that these idiots in the Utah state government clearly have never used a public bathroom.
Huh? Wait, what?
Sounds like
What?
it.
So
Hold on.
so
What happened?
so I
Hold on. I'll be
so
right back.
so
I
Okay.
might not come back actually. We're gonna have D&D, but I'm not gonna be here next weekend.
Okay, gotcha.
And I'm gonna get something to eat. Later,
Gotcha.
guys.
See ya.
Wait a
Jimmy,
minute.
Jimmy, you're gonna want to watch the VOD for while you weren't here. We went down Elmo's trauma dump.
Oh
It was hilarious.
yeah,
What I was
I assume
talking
so.
So what I was talking about to fill time is Utah, the state that I go to university in, joined Team Cringe on the anti-bathroom bill squad because Team Red governance. Uh, the university, there was a rally on campus saying this is cringe, and basically I went around like specifically mentioning the fact that this clearly shows that these politicians have never used a bathroom because, you know,
Mm-hmm.
stalls stuff. Because what I've noticed is people on that side of the political aisle, no matter if they're U.S. or otherwise, really get it off to people being angry at them from the other side of the political aisle. So instead, you just point and laugh at them and make them look like absolute idiots and clowns because they hate that. But yeah, so that was the thing, and then the governor apparently of Utah, I didn't realize this, previously vetoed a different anti-trans law because he understood that was fucking cringe. But he basically got bullied by the rest of the party to signing this one. Like, he didn't have to sign. Even if he didn't veto it, he could, at the very least, have just done the thing. 'Cause the way U.S. laws tend to work is either veto it, executive either vetoes it, they sign it, or if it sits on their desk for a certain amount of time, it automatically gets put into law. But the executive doesn't have to put their signature on it. So, could have like done that. Oh no, Jimmy's gone. Where have you gone? You're gone from the stream.
I know. I was just trying to do something, and obvious just.
Oh, he's changed himself to worm.
I mean, as in here, so I can be warm
That's what you
without troubles.
That's what
Fair
those
enough.
were.
Yeah. They signed the law and it's cringe, and then someone in one of the discords posted a flowchart of doom about how this fucking works. And you know what's brilliant about it? It's a flowchart of whether or not it's legal to use the trains one or whatever. And one of the boxes is just, we don't know. The law's ambiguous on this. Have fun.
Haha!
Hilarious.
Oh my god, it's only 9:30. What the fuck?
Yep.
Honestly, I thought it was way later.
We've been going
For 3
We've
hours.
been going for over 3 hours, yeah. Mina's gone to go get food for D&D. I want to go get food to be ready for D&D.
I have
Over
something
3
else to
hours.
take
We've
care
reached the
of.
bottom of the idea box. Paul's got things to do. How about we wrap this up? We've got that thing in the idea box for next week about Oklahoma. Yeah.
We'll do that for
So we
next
want to
week.
say wrap it up for this week?
Let's wrap up for this Roomba, yeah.
Yeah, we've been going for
Alright.
a while.
Oh, put up the ending screen
Oh, hold on, wait, before I do that.
and find someone to raid, I guess, as we do our outro. Do go to the Discord. Like, follow, subscribe. We've got the VODs channel.
You're asking for
to
way too
watch
many things, and people are
past,
going to do none
Roombas
of
and
them.
other things Jim does. Yeah, but it's
Don't
the thing
expect
you're
me.
supposed
Yeah, well, it's what
Yeah.
you're
Do as a
supposed to do,
content
but
creator.
it's the wrong thing to do.
True, it is kind of cringe.
No, it's because you say
Yeah,
you
you're
tell
doing
people
it.
to do so many things that people are going to end up doing nothing. I remember this specifically because I watched a video of the game theorists talking about this. So that's why I tried to just comprise to, different times, ask different things.
This is why I'm not a content creator and you are.
Fair. You know what? We're gonna raid Octo because they're playing Paladin. Actually, no.
You're the professional.
You know who are we going to raid? Because I don't think they're usually raided that much. We're gonna raid Demo instead of Octo, just for the funsies of it. So they're playing. They're
Double
playing.
man TF2.
Demo Man 5757, my good friend Demo. They're playing Paladins with Octo. Like we could go raid Octo,
Oh no.
but we're gonna raid Demo Man instead. Unless Twitch,
raid demo.
Unless Twitch is
Yeah,
cringe.
it's always Octo.
Unless, yeah, I was going to say, unless Twitch is cringe and doesn't let me raid. Luckily, it lets me. So that's great. So yeah, we're gonna go raid demo for today. Thank you so much everyone for watching, everyone that's come by. Next week is gonna be same schedule as always. We've gone full back to normal now that my, I don't have the flu. The tooth is for
It has
way
been
later
vanquished.
in February. But yeah, next week's gonna be the same. We're gonna have Need for Speed on Mondays. We're gonna start a new Need for Speed. Tuesdays is gonna be Gran Turismo 4 and more Bakugan. Wednesdays is gonna be Ace Attorney. Thursdays is gonna be Pokemon Heart Gold randomizer. We're gonna continue this save file from the Soul Link, but just play it in a casual way because I just don't consider Heart Gold, Soul Silver finished until I beat Red. So even if it's casually with a team of Pokemon that I like, I'm gonna beat that game, and also continue playing through Mystery Dungeon 2, the second save file. Friday is gonna be Final Fantasy 3, finally finishing it. We're gonna get to level 60 and do the final bosses. Saturday is gonna be Pokemon Platinum, probably Tsukihime and other things. And well, on Sunday is gonna be Roomba. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.
See you around. Hey,
Bye, and thank you for all
Jimmy.
the fish.